misfit toys.
Pets can wiggle their way into the center of your life. They command your heart and your snacks, and at some point you find yourself making decisions that revolve around them, like looking for a pet-friendly place. Apartments.com has helped millions of renters find their perfect place to live and has the most pet-friendly listings on the internet. So you can find a rental with roll-worthy carpet for getting tummy rubs, a place near a park for walks, or that perfectly sunlit windowsill for cozy afternoon naps. There might even be a room or two in there for you, pet person. Visit Apartments.com, the place to find a pet-friendly place.
Small business owners, protect what you've built. With more than 30 customizable insurance coverage options, including commercial auto, general liability, and business owners policies. Plus, get personalized discounts for business experience, prior insurance, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Aptitude, expertise, genius, gift.
I'm the fucking talent. Hey, what's happening, Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast? How are you? I'm good, thanks. And I got to tell you this, I don't know what I got to give. I can do no more, as our friend Barry Sobel used to say. I don't know what I have left in the tank for you, because I'm a woozy and a wobbling, because I was a goddamn fire hose of funny with our great friend Lily today. And you'll hear all that coming up later after these pesky plugs, these bothersome plugs, these cumbersome plugs. Which, by the way, if you don't think I'm not naming my folk band the Cumbersome Plugs, and you know what? Here's the gimmick. We'll all have hair plugs. Every single dude. Now, I don't have them yet. They're on the way. Ooh, I'll tell you what. I took a picture of me today, or not today, yesterday in sunlight. Because, here's the thing. I took a selfie. I'm going to yawn. Maybe I'll post it so you guys can take a look at it. In regular light, when I'm in a room with regular electronic lighting and bulbs and things like that, I appear to be normal. I look like a normal gentleman. Certainly nothing to be scared of. But you get the sun shining on me. Because all right, here's the deal. I have several different hair creams and tonics, as you know. I use a Layrite, a medium pomade for a medium hard hold. I use a microfiber. I have a gummy gel sometimes that I use. I have still my favorite hair product of all time. I've had a bottle of it now for, I think, fucking 4 years, and I refuse to use it because it's the last one ever. They stopped making the product. They discontinued it. And in other words, I'm waiting for my hair to be sponge-worthy and hoping they bring this stuff back. But I use it occasionally. I'll throw it in. It's a real slick kind of a... It's not a microfiber cream, and it's not a pomade where that's thick. It's a slick, but it's not a gel. It's not sticky. Oh my God, is it good? And of course, now I can't remember the name of it, but that's okay. I don't want to give you the name because eventually then you'll find it and you'll be like, we're buying all of these, so fucking Mike can't have any of them. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you keeping these out of my goddamn future? Because I'm going to look for them. Don't think I don't. Don't think I won't go trudging around the internet trying to find them. I do that all the time. People go on eBay and they sell stuff all the time. I actually talked about it with Lily later on, so I can't touch that topic now. That's the third rail of this podcast, which means I'll die. And we don't want that to happen, do we? Of course we don't. So I use different hair things, and so it gives my hair, whatever, hold, shine, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It just, because my hair can be flyaway and curly if I didn't use stuff, as you know. So I wash it up, I condition it up, I get out of the shower. Different days I use different products, but I've gotten away from the pomade recently because I don't like the severe hold on top of my head. I'm starting to like a little bit of the, where it looks like it has some body and it's kind of fallen a little bit. Oh my God. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to suck a cock and I'll get right back to you. I just, whatever. Look, I'm going to die soon. I got 20 years left. If I care about my fucking hair, give me a break. And also, who knows how long I'm going to have this stuff. I'm finding it all over the house. It's in piles. Piles would be aggressive. I'm not losing it in that standard, but at the same time, occasionally you'll see three or four, and I don't think they're growing back, folks. I think now at this point they're your hair is like a bad marriage. Like if they leave now at this age, they're not coming back. You know, it's not like I get news for you. If you're 55 and your spouse leaves you, there's no conversation to be had, because now all they did was they waited for the kids to grow up, and then they booked. And they left you in the house like a fucking Springsteen song. And you're like, what am I going to do now? Jesus Christ. I got a job. I had a girl. I had something going, mister, in this world. All right. Got laid off down at the lumberyard. Now I work down at the car wash where all it ever does is rain. Tell me that's not a fantastic lyric. I will fight you. And now you're like, it's simplistic, it's stupid, whatever. No, bullshit. It is fucking, as far as a troubadour, like a young Springsteen, a minstrel, if you will. Now I work down at the car wash where all it ever does is rain. God damn, that's a beautiful line. I'll fight you. Step right up. Marquise of Queensberry. I'll go upside down fists at you, and I'll say, have at you, and I'll Roger you roundly. I'll throw you a couple of rights to the jaw. We'll have a serious fucking rangamadang. I tried to say rangamadang, and I said ramadang. Rangamadang. Rowdy dow. A dust up. You know how it is. A Donnybrook. Let's have a Donnybrook, you and I, over this particular thing. Because look, certainly I've ascribed you as an enemy when you haven't come out as an enemy just yet, but I need to have an enemy. I need a tilt at a windmill, and that's you right now. You're causing all sorts of electricity and wind, and so I will battle you because you don't like the Springsteen lyric. How dare you when I tell you it's genius? And look, I don't know why I go to extremes. Oh ho, more lyrics. All right. And with all of that nonsense, I can't remember what I was talking about. Springsteen and my hair. So my hair, I got a bunch of stuff going on, and so I normally when I wear it's a severe look when I put it in there and it pulls back, and I don't mind that when I have my head shaved, which I need to go get done. But it's dudes. Look, here's the deal. When I go in there, they shave my skull to zero, and they kind of trim the top. It's fucking $36. Actually, it's $41 because I started tipping her more. That's right. I tipped $10 to get a haircut because I apparently have a little orphan Annie living in my house. I wear a tuxedo. I'm bald. I have a monocle. I'm the daddiest of $4 you'll ever goddamn meet. Cut my hair, you'll get $10. No, here's the reason behind that. I tipped her 10 the first time because she was a new chick. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Nice job. And that's at the standard. What I should have realized, if you tip her 5, because at Christmas you always give I always give $20. Like if you get a haircut around Christmas or whatever, you give $20. It's like you put $20 in your mailbox for your mailman. You're like, here you go, buddy. Enjoy fucking cookies and whatever the fuck on me. But I should have recognized that it was the first visit with this woman, and I tipped her $10. And so it kind of set the standard. So now in my mind, if I pull back on the 10, it indicates to her that possibly she's done a bad job, which I don't want to do. Or I'm cheap and broke. Now, one of those is true, certainly, but at the same time, you just you can't do it. Once you're committed in that area, you're kind of stuck. And she's terrific, also, because that's another thing. I try to look at it this way. She cuts my hair, and I want to look good. So you want to tip her so she makes you look good. You don't want somebody who doesn't fucking care. You know, I know friends. And again, they can pull it off because they go to Fantastic Sam's or whatever the fuck. They pay $7 and they walk out of there like, I'm fine. And you're like, really? Because you look like you stepped into a propeller. And they're like, that's all right. I don't mind. Because, again, they're thin. They have cheekbones. They can pull it off. Fat guy needs good haircut. That's just the way it is. Fat guy with bad haircut looks like a maniac. You realize that. You see him coming down the street. You cross the street. You fucking clutch your purse tighter, your bag, your parasol. Whatever you've got that you're carrying, you clutch it tighter when you see fat guy with bad haircut. And so I can't be fat guy with bad haircut because I don't want to clear out that side of the street. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Go ahead and take care of good haircuts. And that's what I do. I take care of myself, folks. I'm in shape. No, not. I'm in tip-top outward condition. My hair, fingernails, all that stuff. You don't care. Jesus Christ. So the point is, when I go get a haircut and it's like cut to zero, then the top, I don't mind putting some pomade in and holding it in a spot. But now that I have hair like on the side of my head and stuff, I kind of don't mind when it falls. I like the hair to be a little bit longer and fuller, and so it falls a little bit, which I don't mind. Now, here's another thing, too. I need to start blow drying my hair because that'll make it look a lot better. Do I blow dry my hair? I don't, because it just seems like this weird, unnecessary step. And who am I blow drying it for? Me? I sit in my fucking house. But when my hair, if I take a shower and I get dressed, but then I don't put the gunk in my hair right away, and I let my hair dry, and then I put the gunk in my hair. Oh, it's lovely. It's kind of full. It falls a little bit. It's got a little bit of curl to it. It's good looking. I just don't argue with me. It looks good. But the thing is, I can't sit and wait, 2 hours for it to air dry all the time. So I know what you're saying. Well, use your hair dryer. Well, no, because then what am I, Tony Manero? I work hard on my hair and then you hit it. I don't want you to hit my hair. So where did this even come from with all the hair rigmaroles and the stuff and the shaving and see, I told you guys, I'm wobbly and woozy. I'm so good later. Give me credit for this because I'm so good later in the show. Right now, I'm just kind of finding my way. Ooh, every time that you want me. I know it's any time, not every time. Let me think what I was doing there. Springsteen, hair, Troubadour. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I took a selfie. All right, so here's the deal. I fucking, when I put this gunk in my hair, because it's wet, my hair, when I put it in there, my hair looks brown because my hair is brown. So and it's a little darker. It looks a little darkish brown because it's got product in it. It's pulled back. It's kind of severe. But if I get in sunlight and my hair is kind of falling and loose and a little, dudes, there is a ton of snow on the roof. Now, look, I know I have gray hair. All right, everybody's got gray hair. I got gray in my beard, which I can't grow. I've got whatever the fuck. But the gray, it causes spot. It just doesn't. I told you once before, as a goof, I wanted to dye my beard and dye my hair just to see what it would look like. And I know I would look like some bad 80s pro wrestler. It would look like a supervillain nonsense thing. I have no fucking clue. But I wanted to do it just once as a goof to see what it would look like. But also I'm terrified that it won't wash out. Like, I don't even know then what happens. Does it fade? Do I have to wait for it to grow? I got no fucking idea. So I look fine. But I wanted to do that as a goof to kind of see what it would be like. All right, if I grown into my face and if I got like dark here and there. So wait, I took this selfie the other day. I wasn't even outside. I was just in my doorway with the sun. And I took a photo. Dudes, my hair is the grayest. I don't know if it's just the sun playing tricks on me. The fucking heat miser popped in to fucking make me feel bad about myself. I got no clue. All I know is, dudes, I am the grayest cat in the business. Maybe I'll post a photo. Who knows? And look, nobody fucking cares. But I'm saying but it was, man, because I took a selfie because I was like, in case, because all right, Lily was sick. The reason the show is late this week, and I apologize, is Lily was sick, and so we couldn't record until tonight. And then we finished, and now we're here, and I'm doing this, whatever. But she couldn't do it on Thursday, or on Wednesday, to be out for Thursday, so now you'll get it here. You're getting it Friday morning, super early. So I took a selfie, because in case I had to do the show by myself, I would put up a picture of me. You know what I mean? That's how it is all the time now. It's pictures of me if I'm doing it by myself. But with Lily having come back, I've been using photos of the two of us. So I decided I'd grab a selfie just in case. And then I took these selfies and I'm like, I have no idea if old man Winter should make his way into this fucking photo. It's like, good Lord. Now I don't look bad. But I'm just shocked. And I don't know if it's just the atmosphere or the cloud cover. I have no idea, man. All I know, I'm sure some photo guy could tell you about it, but my hair is super fucking gray. And, it just doesn't look like that all the time, like during the day. But in this photo, man, there was something about it that popped it completely. And I'm like, all right, well, that's that. So like I said, maybe I'll put it up. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll destroy it. But it made me laugh. So there you go. So I have a bunch of gray hair. Anyway, fuck this. Let's do plugs, right? You're not here for this nonsense. You're here to get to the meat of the matter. You're here to get to the regular show that our friend Lily and I have concocted for you after she was no longer sick. So I'll tell you all sorts of stuff, man. Let's do this. Let's talk about, you know what? I saw a movie. Why? I literally am just like, hey man, I'm going to do the plugs now. By the way, I saw a movie. I saw a movie called, I saw two movies. Well, fuck it. You don't care about my movies. All right, here's the deal. I'm part of the Misfit Toys Co-op. Did you know this? Do you know what they are? The Misfit Toys Co-op. Wait, before I even get into them, let's talk about the guys who sponsor us. Our great friend Fearful Jesuit does his podcast. It's the Paranoid Strain podcast. You can find it in all of your finest podcast places. Available the iTunes podcast space. Available on Spotify. Available at Poddick. All of them are carrying the lovely and talented Paranoid Strain podcast. He's just dealt with the John Birch Society. He's going to be breaking down Russia for you guys. Still hardcore after Q. Getting it done. It's what he does. He and Dana Unicorn go ahead. They get their shovels out. They dig and they dig and they dig. And eventually they hit gold. They hit fucking pay dirt in the middle of the earth. They find the skeleton bones of a conspiracy and then they reanimate it for you and they make it dance with their voices and their inflections and their interviews with guys who haven't spoken to another human being in 11 years and have just been reading books that entire time. Guys for whom the pandemic was a rumor because they had their head buried in a dictionary finishing the X's. That's the guys they talk to on that show. But good for them. That's the guys with all the information. Don't talk to dumb guys. It's hard to do a fucking entertaining, great show if you talk to a dumb guy. Now, look, if you just have a dumb guy doing the show, case in point, maybe he can pull it off. At least he can go ahead and fill the air, the headspace. But if you're going to interview experts, you want an expert, man. You don't want to have some fucking dope. You don't ask some guy about aliens and he's like, duh, aliens, duh. And you're like, oh boy, why'd we talk to this? First of all, why'd that guy even get a... I'm going to ask you this. You interview that guy. Yeah, I got your podcast. And you go, sir, can you tell us about aliens? And he goes, aliens, And first of all, you got to go through with it because he gave you some of his precious time. And I don't know if you're on Zoom or in a room with him somewhere. But at the same time, do you air that interview afterwards? Are you worried about scaring or offending that guy? Because is he going to tune in later? Or do you give him a fake podcast name and then you just run away and you never talk to him again? Because you can't have that guy gumming up your podcast. You're trying to be smart. You got to interview guys like the fucking two idiots from Silence of the Lambs who are fucking the guy with the wonky eye who found a moth and trying to help out Starling and he's flirting with her, trying to buy her a cheeseburger. Dude, that was the one thing I hated about that movie. I know you're thinking like, because, all right, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you've watched Silence of the Lambs, you're thinking to yourself, remember when Meggs jerked off and he threw cum in Jamie and Jodie Foster's hair? And you're like, Jesus Christ, that's the worst thing that's ever going to happen in this movie. No, sir. No. Wonky eye staring off in the other direction. Jones asks her out for a cheeseburger. That is the worst thing that happens in Silence of the Lambs. She sees James Gum. She's trapped in the darkness. There's a night vision guy who touches her hair. I don't want to give any spoilers. She talks to Lecter. There's all of these things that happen. And yet I tell you this, Meg's throwing cum in her hair, pretty rough, no doubt. But much more worse is having Wonky Eye ask her out for a cheeseburger. That is truly the most humiliating thing that happens to Jodie. Because that guy, how does that guy think the hot Clarice Starling is in his league? And I know you guys are like, hot. Bullshit. Jodie Foster's beautiful, always has been beautiful. I've been in love with her since I was a child of 9 years old, I'm going to say. Let's guess. 76? Maybe 10. I'll say when I was 10 years old, because she made a movie called The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane. And it was on the 3:30 movie, which was a weekday movie on Channel 7 in Chicago. And I remember watching it and going and thinking, I'm that's my wife. Like, it was the weirdest thing, even as a child. I don't know why it was in me. I don't know why I felt it. But I abnormally sexualized her as a child. But of course I was a child as well, so it was okay. But I remember even thinking, like, I love that person. I don't know who that is, but oh my gosh. And I couldn't stop staring at her because she was also crazy smart. And in addition to, like, really beautiful to me. I don't know how to explain it. And I don't know. Look, kids do weird shit. So, but when I was a kid, man, I had a huge crush on Jodie Foster. And then I got older, dudes. And then she's in Foxes. She's fucking so good in Foxes. And then, of course, Silence of the Lambs and just everything. Taxi Driver, everything. She's a phenomenal actress. A brilliant representative of Hollywood and the arts and the industry. And you should all respect her. And I'm tired of you guys running her down. Nobody's run her down, of course not. Paranoid Strain, a fantastic podcast. Go check it out right now. Amazing things are afoot. Give it a listen. And again, like I said, talking to the smartest guys in the business, like those two guys from Silence of the Lambs. The hubris they had, that guy to ask her out for a cheeseburger. That's the kind of hubris you want to have on your podcast. And the Paranoid Strain recognizes that. So they immediately dump aliens. That guy's gone. Cut him loose. So there you go. Paranoid Strain, Fearful Jesuit. Data Unicorn, available right now wherever your finer podcasts are given away for free and or sold. Check it out now. Download it. And also, I'll tell you what, if you want to leave a review, you can do that. Leave a review in the iTunes podcast store saying, you know what, I love this goddamn show. It's fucking awesome. They lost the alien guy, and now they're interviewing a couple of scientists from a movie that I like. And then he'll be respected. He'll be thrilled. And the iTunes people will be like, whoa, we got scientists. And they'll bump them up the charts. And everybody will go, this is the new podcast. This is the new hotness. And then eventually, like I said, a Paranoid Strain will be, I'll be sponsoring them. Or they'll be sponsoring me, I should say. Well, they're sponsoring now. No, I'll be sponsoring them, I guess, is the way to go. Right? I'll be giving them fucking money is my point. The Phlegm Cat podcast. What? Yes, that's right. Our great friend David Hernandez. You may know him as David Mex Hernandez. He runs a podcast called The Phlegm Cat Podcast. It's available right now. Same places you'll find the always popular Paranoid Strain. If you go looking for... And you know what? They're both under P. Yeah, you can go look right in the same Dewey Decimal System. Fucking, what is it? What's that? What's the thing called? Holy shit, I can't remember. What's the card system in the library? Dewey Decimal? No, that's something completely different. Or is it? I don't know. Fuck. I haven't been to a library forever, and I have friends who are like, man, did you know the library is awesome? And I'm like, the library is filled with bed bugs. Bed bugs and human fingerprints on all of the products that you get. I don't want to get... And also, like I said, you get a book, some guy read all the information. There's no more info in that book. It's like I felt about my newspapers. But libraries are out there and filled to bursting with bed bugs. It's terrible. But that doesn't matter with the Phlegmcat podcast. Phlegmcat podcast and Paranoid Strain, both under P. If you're there flipping through the card catalog, you'll find them there in the same drawer. Phlegmcat podcast does amazing things. It's our great friend Max. He does voices, he does songs, he tells you stories, he's fishing, he's golfing. He's done everything that a white guy should do, except charge the Capitol on January 6th. He will not leave his house to do that. He's my great friend and very proud of his Mexican heritage, and yet he is now taking up every single white guy sport. But he also boxes too, so I guess he's okay. Although I guess it's not really. Jesus Christ, am I digging a hole for myself? Probably. He's going to yell at me. Regardless, well, he doesn't listen to this fucking thing anymore. But the Phlegmcat podcast is a killer. It's fucking amazing. And again, just to hear him sing is fucking beautiful. But then he does all these different cartoon voices, has chats with his dog Rogue. He'll tell you stories about being in Alabama, which is awful, and Arizona. There's something about Mex. He refuses to leave his house unless it's states that begin with A. It's the only reason he will leave his house. He goes to Alabama. He goes to Arizona. That's all he does, man. Or he'll go fish, or he'll go golf. He does all those things. He's Tony Soprano, essentially. Except Tony would go to boroughs that started with B. Brooklyn and the Bronx. Is Brooklyn a borough? I don't know. Bronx is a borough. Oh, man, did you hear this? I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. But yeah, so the Phlegmcat podcast is available wherever you get your best podcasts. So don't look for mine there. Look for theirs there, because that's where they're kept. In the trophy room of all podcasts. The Phlegmcat podcast is something that people love and enjoy because, again, he does fantastic voices. He sings. He tells you stories. David is incredibly talented. So go ahead and download the show. It's where you get your best podcasts. Also, let me tell you this. The man does artwork. You can go ahead and hire him for that. I believe he's still doing it. You go to facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez and become his friend. And you start rolling through and looking at the paintings that he's done. And you're going, Jesus Christ, this guy could paint my fucking Little Deuce Coupe. And he'll do it despite his hatred of the Beach Boys. If you've got the green, he'll make the scene and he will paint you a Little Deuce Coupe. Because you don't know what I want. Is that the line? Gee, my little dude good. But I do. I don't know the words. Do I know the words? I know probably some Beach Boys songs. Well, you look, because they're in your DNA, because you heard them fucking forever. Unless you're a person who didn't have them in your DNA, and then you don't know what I'm talking about. DNA. See, that's another guy they tried to interview. Cut him loose. Had the same fucking affliction as our good friend who didn't like to talk about the fucking aliens. Or at least he liked to talk about the aliens, but he didn't have any information to contribute. It was bad. All right, so Paranoid Strain podcast available now. Phlegmcat podcast available always. Go check them out. Download them. Put them in your ears and soak them and marinate in them. Go ahead and take a sound bath that's filled with Phlegmcat and Paranoid Strain. Why not? You should. I'm part of the Misfit Toys podcast. Did you know that? I'm sorry. My phone is ringing and it's the weirdest thing ever. All right, I have a friend. This is funny. My friend Suze is calling me right now as she's coming home. She works late. She'll call me late at night. So the other day, All right, I did the Rock Solid podcast with Pat. I'll plug that now. I did Rock Solid with Pat as we went Ozzy Osbourne's track by track on his new album, okay? And look, spoiler alert, Pat and I liked some songs, and some songs we just thought were like, what the fuck? Overall, though, Ozzy needs a therapist, like quickly. It is, please keep the sharp objects away from Ozzy. I don't know what's going to happen. The only reason he hasn't slashed his wrists yet is because his Parkinson's is so bad he couldn't hit them. I mean, it's fucking awful. So he just sounds so depressed. He's the way he sings. I won't do it. But if you go listen to the podcast, you hear us talk about it for 2.5 hours. So Suzanne texted me and Pat, and she wrote, "I'm loving this Ozzy album." And Pat and I both just replied with exclamation point emojis, like, what? And she goes, well, I haven't listened to the whole album yet, but I'm listening to your podcast. And I mean, I like these songs that you guys don't like. And we're like, oh, Jesus Christ. And on the same show, Pat had brought up a Steven Tyler country music song that I didn't know existed. And he played it. And I'm like, dude, that totally sounds like one of these new country music songs. That would work. And Suzanne in her text wrote, by the way, I hate that Aerosmith song. Don't even fucking bring it up again. So I wrote her back and I go, what, Aerosmith? Because I was talking about Fine, too, the Aerosmith song. I go, this one? She goes, no, that country song, whatever it was. I said, oh, really? And then I went online and I found a picture of Steven Tyler in a cowboy hat and I sent it to her. And she's like, what is this? And then I found another one. And then I found a GIF of him. Yes, GIF, shut up. Of him with a cowboy hat on, tipping it at the camera like, ma'am. And I sent that to her and it made me laugh out loud. And she goes, I hate you. She goes, this is ridiculous. He's so ridiculous. And so that I took the picture of him with the cowboy hat and I made it her picture on my phone. And I sent her a thing and I said, all right, from now on in my phone, you're this. And she's like, oh my God, I fucking hate you. So I haven't heard from her. This is a couple days ago. And just now my phone rang and it was Suzanne. And just this huge picture of Steven Tyler came up. And I took a screenshot, so I'm going to send it to her as soon as I finish this show and just go, look at you. Look at you. She's going to be furious. So she's the fucking best. What are we talking about, man? Talking about, all right, so let's go check out Rock Solid, man. I'm on there with Pat, my good friend, talking about Ozzy and other shows and songs and bands and things like that. Because here's the thing, we're not linear. Pat and I get on there, we start talking, and we kind of go into circles and stuff like that. It's fun. It's a fun conversation. He's a great friend, one of my best friends in the world, and it's super cool to have to be on his show and go ahead and talk and about cool stuff. So check it out now. It is the Rock Solid podcast, available now wherever you can download good podcasts. Well, you know what? While you're there checking out the P's for Paranoid Strain and Flumcat podcast, slide on over to the R's. It's just after the Q's. And I unfortunately, I'm not on the Quantum Leap podcast. Please don't do that. Go right to the R's. Skip the Q's. Go right to the R's, and you'll find Rock Solid in there. And Pat and I talking about Ozzy, who can be listed under the O's. Maybe they put it under O. I hope not. Look, I don't know how podcasting does their card catalog, but I'm telling you right now, it should be under the R's, under Rock Solid. And you find it, and there we are. We're talking. It's fun. I'm in the Misfit Toys co-op, I think it's called. Did you know this? I am. You know who else is in it? Well, Never Not Funny is in it. The Never Not Funny people. That's Elliot and Garen and Jimmy Pardo and our great friend Matt Belknap. You know, it's funny. I saw a clip this week. Someone shared a clip of the old Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Did I talk about this last week? I might have, and I apologize if I did. It was a clip of Johnny Carson interviewing Annie Potts. And Shelley Winters had been the previous guest, so she just bumped herself down the couch. So Annie Potts is talking, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's fun. He's talking to Annie Potts, Shelley Winters gets involved, and it's fun. It's the way talk shows used to be, when you could be silly and kind of goof around, and also Carson was a master, and he handled it unbelievably. If you can go find this clip, Tonight Show, Shelley Winters, Annie Potts, it's only like 5 minutes long, and watch Carson and go, oh my God, that's Jimmy Pardo. I even sent it to him. I go, dude, this clip, you can completely see how much you loved him and where like mannerisms and how he influenced you in your comedy. The way he handles it, he just lets the situation unfold, comes in with a couple of fucking classic lines, makes this face like a bemused face. He's so good and so Jimmy in this clip. It's fucking hysterical. But Never Not Funny, they've got all sorts of guests going on. I think Tommy Johnigan is on it this week, so go ahead and check that out. Never Not Funny with our great friends, Matt and Jimmy and Elliot and Garen, also known as AKA The Gang. Download it today. Doug Loves Movies. He sure does. He loves talking about movies with his pals and his friends, especially that Sam Levine, who's, the guy's so nice they gave him an extra M. So somewhere out there, there's an Ike who wanted to be a Mike. Couldn't do it. Levine hogged an M. But Doug loves movies. Doug loves movies. Maybe that. Doug loves movies. If he also hogged an M. God, they're stealing M's on this podcast. Check it out. It's Doug and very popular, famous guests, and then funny guests and people who are knowledgeable about movie guests. And then, of course, just Doug, who's an overall cheerful, I almost said appendage, but I would say presence. I will say that. He's not an appendage. What if he was? He's the dick hanging off of his show. Doug Loves Movies, available now where you can find it. Also, The Todd Glass Show, featuring our great friend Todd Glass, who's incredibly funny. Fucking machine. No Fun with Jen Kirkman is out there as well. Jen Kirkman does terrific work. She's so good. She's out there under the Misfit Toys co-op as well. So that's Never Not Funny. That's Doug Loves Movies. That's The Todd Glass Show. And that's No Fun with Jen Kirkman. And I'm going to tell you this. Every week, I bring you these shows and I tell you about them. And there's usually a fifth show that I throw into the mix. And I make jokes. Because I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not on the newsletter anymore. I don't get any information from these people. I don't know what's happening, if anything's happening. I don't know if these things are real or not. It could have been a phony press release. Who knows? So I always joke around about Let Me Watch Your Movie With You with Jonah Ray. And I finally went, you know what? I'm going to look this thing up. I looked it up. They haven't done a show since January of 2021. And I know you thought that I was a guy who was taking a lot of time off. Well, I'll tell you this. That show's been a hiatus for fucking a year and a half. I mean, I took 6 weeks off here and there, which is certainly not good, and nobody liked it. But we're back, strong, talking to you now. So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to drop it from the rotation. I'm going to look and see if there are other Misfit Toys shows I need to plug. Because I do like plugging it, certainly. Although, like I said, I'm not... Nobody's tugging on my shirt sleeve and going, hey, Mike, you want to do a commercial read? Hey, Mike, are you out there? Hey, you should advertise. Well, they do this. I told you that. Jen wrote me. He's like, why aren't you doing any fucking commercials for your podcast? Which maybe I'll do that. Should I do that? No, but I will. I think. Maybe. Who knows? Because I don't know what it should be. Should it be this? Should it just be 15 minutes of me? 15 minutes? That's not a commercial. Hey, guess what? That's an episode. Sort of an episode. So the Misfit Toys Co-op, anything with the branding is going to be fantastic. Never Not Funny, Doug Loves Movies, Todd Glass Show, No Fun with Jen Kirkman, and me, your friend Mike Schmidt at the 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Hi. Guys, do you want to hire me for Cameo? Do you want to see my face on your little phone as I talk and talk and talk with a green screen behind me, and you can put in whatever you want behind me? You can put in old 70s gay porns. You could make it look like I was sitting in a gay theater while a couple of guys jerked each other off, and I just fucking talked to you about baseball or whatever the fuck. Why not? You want to tamper with a green screen? Go right ahead. That's the service I provide to you guys. Not the hand jobs in the theater, but certainly the green screen allows you to have interactive fun with my Cameo. Because it's just me talking, and which is fine, and that's what you're paying for. But at the same time, it's like a Woolly Willy. Remember that when you could draw a beard on a fucking dude with magnets? Well, with my green screen, you can put me anywhere. It's like that Conan bit where they would drive the couch around and they would drive around New York City. Fucking do that. Put a green screen and put me anywhere you want. Put me in your house. But bring your girlfriend. Bring your mom. Put me anywhere you want. And I'll still be talking. That's the thing, is it'll be superfluous. Like, I'll have no idea where I am. So I could be doing some crazy thing about you and going, oh, yeah, you and your marriage, it's so strong, and I love your wife, she's terrific. I don't know why I would say I love your wife. That's probably a bad Cameo. Don't hire me to do that. Well, unless you want to tell your wife that you love her, I'll do that. But I'm not going to say I love your wife, because that just seems like a non-starter. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you hire me to do a Cameo where I say I love you to your wife, I mean, I'm on board. $15 is $15. I'll fucking do. Well, it's 20 for you, but 15 for me, 5 to the fucking the bookie. But that's the vig. But I'll happily tell your wife that I love her if that's what you insist upon. If that's what gets you off, friend, and it only costs you $20 to do it, then I am on board. Step right up. Let's get on the midway and have me tell your wife that I love her. But if you want me to tell your wife that you love her, well, see, now we're talking. That's something I can absolutely pull off. I'm the verbal equivalent of goddamn flowers. You literally looking at me talk to her for 8 minutes and sweet talk her and tell her how much you love her. That's as good as a dozen roses, baby. That's roses in the bank. That's me in the money bank, the laugh bank. Remember the laugh bank? So I'm there lurking. So hire me for a Cameo to do any of those things. You want me to tell your kid that how to catch a baseball? I can do that. I don't know if I can tell him. I'll give him a description. What I don't even need to be problem solving. Now that I think about it, it doesn't need to be problem solving. It can just be breezy. It can be a breezy chat. You know what? I'll read the dictionary, all the X's like that cat working for Paranoid Strain, and I'll tell you whatever. If you want me to do the duh guy, I can do an impression of him for however long you want on a cameo. Oh my God, how embarrassing would that be? If you just like do 8 minutes of the duh guy, cameo, friends, $20, boy, that was 5 seconds that I'm ready. I need a nap. Don't hire me to do that. But you know what? Again, I need $15. I'm happy to do it. Whatever you desire. Fleur-de-lis. Watch LA Confidential. Realize that fleur-de-lis, whatever you desire, it says it right there on my business card. I am the fleur-de-lis of cameos. Whatever you desire. I will cut my voice to sound like some Hollywood starlet that you can fucking rail, and then Pierce Patchett will have an ending that you probably didn't see coming, although maybe you did now that I've spoiled it. God damn it, watch the movies. Why can't I spoil all movies? You must watch everything. I must know what's in your blood. In your blood? Strange. Hire me for cameo. Why not? What the fuck else are you doing? Patreon.com/Mike40YOB. I'm out there. I'm ready. I'm going to throw this in your lap. You'll hear me talk about it with Lily later as well. There's a listener who reached out, a gentleman named Casey, who I need to thank. Casey does really good things. He always puts my episode up on YouTube, which makes me happy. Casey reached out and he was like, hey man, what if you put the video from the Zoom calls with Lily as a Patreon deal? And I was like, nobody wants to watch those. And then Lily's like, no, people do. They actually really like to watch those. And I'm like, I doubt it. So I put it to you guys. Casey said people would like to see it. Lily also seconds that. As a Patreon person, is that something you would like? Would you want to see the video? Because then Lily's like, you can put the podcast out a day early. But what she doesn't understand is like, I mean, I couldn't even get her to do Wednesday this week, which is fine. She was sick. She had a migraine and vomit. But I would have to record that on like Monday and then put the video up on Patreon and then release the podcast on Thursday, I guess. I mean, and I could do that if this is something that you guys would be interested in, but I don't even know if you are. Look, I don't even know if anybody fucking listened to this thing anymore. Let alone watching a Patreon release of a video of me and Lily talking for fucking 2 hours on Zoom. But maybe it is. I don't know. And look, this is an informal poll. Write me a note if you'd like. Or put it on the Joker's page on Facebook or whatever the fuck. Drop me a note. Hey, that's right. I've stopped doing that. I'll give you that later. I'll remember to do that before I split. Yeah, so write me a note and just say, yeah, dude, I would like to see that or I wouldn't. And I asked Lily about it today and it made me laugh because she was like, yeah, no, I would totally think people really want to do that. In my brain, I wanted to go, you haven't combed your hair since 2017. Now that's not a mean thing. She can't comb her hair physically. She can't grip a comb. She's all fucked up, man. She's just in trouble. I mean, she's like never mind. I can't say it. So she's having issues physically, as she always has. But if she's willing to do the Zoom where you can see her, then that's fine. I mean, because it's just me in my head in front of a green screen. Actually, I put the horn boy behind me. I started doing that because I didn't want her to just fucking stare at the green. And I also don't want her any shenanigans putting me in some fucking situation that I can't get out of. And she would do that too. She's a minx. So if this is something you think you would like, tell me. And I mean, I guess I could make that work. And even if I put up a segment of it, right? Even if I put up like just a fucking 10-minute segment, maybe that'd be worth it. But then I got to edit video. Oh my God, I've got to go to school. Jesus Christ. How many times have I told you people? I just talk. That's it. I barely know how to push these buttons to start the fucking thing. I only know it's going because the red line is bobbing. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're going. And then I wind up talking. But I'm willing to learn whatever you guys need me to do. You've been so patient and nice. So if that's something you like, then tell me and we'll try to get it underway for you. That'd be fantastic. Cameo Patreon. Oh, if you just want to send me money, who doesn't? You can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and up the right hand corner is a little horn boy on there. It says donate, and that's PayPal. And if you want to just, my PayPal address is, well, no, it's there. Never mind. It's not my PayPal address. It's just go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and click on the little horn boy. I'll take you right to PayPal because I don't think I have a PayPal address that I can just give out here because now you're asking for trouble. Because then the Russians are going to clone it, and who the fuck knows? And the next thing you know, I bought a bomb that kills Zelensky, and then everybody's like, aha, you're in with cahoots. And I'm like, I'm not in cahoots. And then they trace it back, and it turns out, son of a bitch, I'm in cahoots. Didn't think I was in cahoots, but I am in cahoots, and I can't control that. My cahoot meter is way off. I couldn't read that coming. All right, so that's the thing. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, there's a little horn boy there. Click on him and send me dough, if you'd like. Keep me out of the who's gal, if you would. I don't know if I'm really going to jail, but maybe you send me money, maybe I won't. Who knows? I got channels that you should check out. Did you know that? I got channels. YouTube.com/the40year-old boy. It is mainly the backup episodes, not the backup, the full complement of episodes of this podcast. They're available there for you to partake in and take a look and experience and love. Dive in, take a deep dive. Go right now. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to find year 5, episode 11. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I don't know what it's about. I don't know when it was, but listen to year 5, episode 11 and see exactly what happens. And I'm going to expect a report back from you. You better contact me and go, this is exactly what happens, Mike. Maybe I'll listen to it. Let's do that. What if we did a story time with Mike? We went back and we just what if on Patreon I just hosted old episodes of the podcast? God damn, why am I creating more work that you don't like? YouTube.com/the40year-old boy. Follow the channel at least, even if you don't fucking read or listen to anything over there. It'd be nice if you listen to stuff because I get money, I think, for that. But if you went and just fucking became a subscriber, then it looks like I'm a hitter. If I get people to get subscribed, then all of a sudden I'm in the algorithm. You know that. Now I'm like fucking Neo and Joey Pants. I'm eating a fake steak, but I still love it because it's the taste of steak. I got to be honest. If there was an offer right now, I'm Joe Pantoliano in The Matrix. As much as I like Kung Fu, I'm going to go for the steak every goddamn time. I'm Joey Pants. I'm like, you know what, man? I know this isn't a real fucking steak, but it sure tastes like a fucking good steak. Steak and pussy here are not real, but they're real, and that's all I care about. I don't want to be sitting in some embryonic fluid. What if we got Keanu into that pod, and he pops out and he looks around and he realizes, I'm hypnotized. But that was the thing, is I would have to make a deal with the Matrix people to make me happy, like Pants did. If you're just some hobo, how shitty would it be if you were in the Matrix and you were just a layabout? That'd be terrible. I'm a layabout in this world, and it's not exactly fucking getting me anywhere. But now I'm going to layabout in the Matrix world? Give me a fake fucking steak. Get out of my way. YouTube.com/the40year-old boy. Assimilate. We are the Borg. Twitch.tv/the40year-old boy. Now that's a completely different animal. YouTube, it's all it's kind of dead audio, right? It's old shows you can listen to and be like, yeah, glory days. But Twitch.tv/the40year-old boy is alive. I'm there pretty much every weekday, Monday through Friday. Not today, because I had to take some time off in order to do the podcasting thing today because Lily was sick. We're just finishing up Red Dead Redemption 2. And once that's done, Spooktober will be upon us. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be done by October 1st. I really don't. But I will go ahead and dabble in some Spooktober. We might take a month. Just October, we'll just do scary shit. And we'll go ahead and start jumping into that. And then we'll come back to the Western in November if we have to. But right now, for the next, I don't know how many days are left. A week in September? There's like a week left in September. And we'll go ahead and do as much cowboy shit as we can. And then starting October 1st, is that a holiday? Wait a minute. What's October 1st? That's a Saturday. Forget that. October 3rd. I'm usually not out there on the weekends. But on the weekdays, certainly I'm there. And we'll go ahead and we'll be doing all kinds of incredible stuff at YouTube. Twitch.tv/the40year-old boy. Spooktober is about to start. It's September now. So if you wanted to go over to twitch.tv/the40year-old boy, follow the channel. That's always helpful. And subscribe to the channel. Like I said, you can give me $5 from Jeff Bezos. It costs you nothing. Use your Prime membership to go ahead and subscribe. Then I get $5 from Amazon. Toot sweet. And that helps us out too. So go ahead and do that. That'd be fantastic. But then in October, you can do it all over again. Look at that. You can renew your thing. And then the first of every month, you can renew it. I'm now, you know what? I'm no longer your favorite podcaster. Now I'm a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, as I long to the White House where I'll stand in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. Oh, how I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a Bill. Twitch.tv/the40year-old boy. That might happen there. I break out in a song occasionally. I'm going to get sued or killed by somebody at some point, but that's fine. I've lived a good life. I've had a good run. Let's get me sued and killed. What do you say? And that's plugs. There you go. How about that? Let's get ready for the meat of the show, right? Let's go ahead, prepare, sit back, get ready. Oh, I'll tell you this. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. And then also I'm at Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok at Mike40YOB. And I believe last week when I was saying this, I said, I'll put up an Instagram post this week. Guess what? I didn't do ... And I know I'm a terrible person. I owe people texts. My friend Ellen, there's all sorts of people out there that I need to text and write notes to. And I don't want to even say baby steps. I mean, who fucking cares? Nobody gives a shit. But I'll if you've written me, I'll get back to you. I promise. It will happen soon. Oh my God, so soon. But if you want to write me now, Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go ahead and find me there. And then, of course, like I said, you can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. Follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. And then Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at Mike40YOB. Send me a snap. I'll make this promise. Anyone who sends me a Snapchat this week, I will answer with one of my own. What? Yes, that's right. You'll actually see me talking. I sent this because here's the thing. Our great friend Ash, who you may know Ash, she's a listener and a friend, not in that order. And then she had a baby, and her baby is called Bomb Pop. Because I've talked all along about Bomb Pop and Chinese Rick. You know this. I mean, her baby has a first name, certainly, but they all call her Bomb Pop, her and her family, and it makes me very proud and happy. I don't even know that if they know why. And if they ever listen to this thing, they're going to, why the fuck are we listening to that guy? I'm sure. But it is, I have been honored so many times by so many people. David Kemp with his tattoo and people reaching out. I've been placed in plays and comic books. People made an online game of me. It's an incredible thing what you guys have done. And Ash is right up there because, again, her baby is Bomb Pop. It's fucking crazy. But she sent me a note this week when I said that the show was kind of rained out because of sickness. She sent me a note and she's like, oh my God, I hope you feel better. And then in my brain, I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send her a little video clip. Because sending a text, it just seemed informal. And also because she's written me before and I've waited weeks to write her back. And I was like, you know what? I'll send a note. And so I sent a video and I just said, Ash, I am not sick. I'm drippy because I just got out of the shower, but it's Lily who's sick and not me. I didn't know if she wanted, whatever I said. It was only like a 25-second clip and no answer. I think I scared her. I think I spooked her off because I sent her a video. Because I'm a weirdo. Nobody wants a video from me. And then I sent a video and she's just like, dude, all you had to do was just say, I'm fine. That's it. You don't have to send me some fucking weird video. Because you're going to watch that and her friends are going to be like, well, who's this guy texting you a video? Just fucking stupid. All right, I'm so out there and ridiculous. So Ash, I wasn't sick, but you're nice to reach out. All right, anyway, without further ado, let's get rolling, shall we? Thank you guys. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad everything's going well for all of you in your lives. I'm sure it is anyway. At least I'm assuming so. And, again, you guys can get me at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. Be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. And then Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Mike40YOB. And thank you so much for indulging me with this format. And, this is what it is for a while. We'll see what happens. It might change in an instant, but right now I'm really happy that my friend Lily is joining me, and I hope you're enjoying it too. The feedback has been great. So I've talked long enough. Let's go listen to me and the lovely Lily and her migraine.
This is a St. Jude moment.
Ashton was a high-level athlete, and in an instant, your world flips. And your healthy 5-year-old competitive cheerleader has a brain tumor. And the physician was like, your best option is St. Jude. Receiving treatment that was life-saving for our child and knowing that that treatment would be of no cost to us was a huge weight lifted.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, it's comedian Jen Kirkman, and you will love my podcast, No Fun, the Jen Kirkman Podcast. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Here's what the Onion AV Club had to say. What actually makes Jen Kirkman's podcast funny is her inherent knack for cultivating conflict, even talking into a microphone in a room by herself. Kirkman is eternally embattled, but she tempers her cynicism with sweetness, and more often than not, she's right. No Fun, everywhere you get podcasts.
Okay, so I'm recording it to the computer this time rather than the cloud because that made you nervous last time.
Well, everything's, I mean, as long as it's come out, I don't care. I look, here's the thing. I'm not a child. All right. I panic certainly because I don't, how many times, again, it only happened a handful of times with us, but when we'd be recording and all of a sudden it would just fry or it would stop or the cursor of death would come up. And as you know, this is all made up. So it's like, if I talk for an hour off the top of my head and then it disappears, it's a crime against humanity. Seriously. The Pope gets involved. People are furious. There's some sort of trial at The Hague. Some sort of Nuremberg thing happens because you can't lose an hour of my brilliance. You just cannot. And then when the computer eats it, then, we've got to go to we got to go to Steve Jobs' grave and we got to hold hands. I mean, it's to try to bring it back. It's a mess. It's a mess. So to me, I like physical, tactile things. You know what I like? I like a show file I can touch. I can put it in my hand. I can squeeze it. I can rub it on my face.
Do you want me to record this to a cassette player next time?
Oh my God. Don't fucking threaten me with a good time. Are you kidding me? If I could have myself a cassette, I'd buy a T-top fucking Trans Am and I'd be all over the goddamn place blasting me to passersby. Listen to me. I'm a genius. Dude, if you can put it on a fucking 8-track, they're even better. Cause like in the middle of a rant, it would just go and then continue rant. That'd be fucking beautiful.
Could you imagine how many volumes that would take? How many 8-tracks it would take for the 35 years you've been doing this show?
No fucking kidding. No fucking kidding. No, you know why? I really can't imagine it because I can't imagine the just the amount of download internet bullshit that I have. I mean, because again, other people, they do. Look, I don't know whatever other people do. I don't want to comment on that. I'm not allowed on other shows anymore. I've been ostracized to fucking podcast island, whatever the fuck. But there's no way. Like I'll do a show and it's like, because my computer will freeze. That scares the shit out of me because I have to. Because when I'm assembling it, you have to keep saving project. But then when you save that project, it's just adding more fucking data or whatever to your computer. Mm-hmm. I've learned over the years. So then it'll just stop and it'll say disk is full. You must clear stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm worried then. Because again, my computer might go into business for itself and go, you know what? You don't need this new shit and throw it out. Instead of throwing away the old shit. What if my computer's got favorite shows? He's like, oh man, we can't lose fucking episode 4 from year 11. That's fucking genius. And then he saves it and he throws away this one. And I'm like, dude, you're fucking with me here. Terrible. But my computer also knows that this is all seat of the pants. He knows because he's never seen me type a script. If I type some sort of script, he'd be like, you can just read the script again, bozo. Why does my computer call me bozo? He seems mean.
I don't know. Do you have all of your shows on backup off of your computer?
No. And you and I had this dust up before because you had them and you threw everything away.
I didn't throw everything away. I gave you most of what I had and then said, do you have them? And you were like, yeah. I mean, you should be able to download everything from the iTunes store.
I have certainly year 1 through 9.
Okay.
Because those, I used to sell the box sets.
Right.
And then when you left and everything got fucking where like, hey, you got to do this. What? Maybe I stopped saving I have all the audio files.
And you have the shows, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they're not the shows. They're fucking pixels. I can't have that.
So you don't have like a CD backup where you took all of them and burned them to a CD or a DVD?
No, ma'am.
Or put them on an external hard drive?
No, well, I've got them on an external hard drive, yes.
Do you have them on 2 external hard drives or just one?
I have I have one external hard drive that was a show hard drive. Mm-hmm. And that's where, because I had to clear, again, it was the same thing, disk is full.
Yeah.
So I had to keep moving shit over, but then that's full. So I'm not kidding. I have another, that was a terabyte, I think.
Okay, we're going to Costco at some point in the next couple weeks, and we're going to get you like an 8 terabyte hard drive, and we're going to back up, literally have it in front of you, but haven't done the work.
I just bought a 5 terabyte a month and a half ago because this terabyte is full and this terabyte is in progress. So, and the thing is, all right, here's another thing I need to do, as you know. Oh, hey, by the way, hey, what's happening? 40-year-old boy podcast. Were you recording? You're recording, right?
I guess this is the show.
We can't lose this brilliance. Again, my computer wants to throw it out, and I'm saying, no, we save it. That's what we do. The problem is, the issue is that I have here, first of all, I have no archivist. That's certainly something I need.
That's you. You're the archivist.
No, I'm the talent. The show needs an archivist. We need a person who compiles. We need a person who goes ahead and sorts. I'm not a sorter, motherfucker. I am a talker. I am a doer. I am a yacker. I am not a fucking sorter. I'm not on an assembly line somewhere in a sackcloth dress waiting for the generalissimo to send me home to my kid so I can eat one potato chip for dinner. I don't fucking work like that. I talk into a microphone like a grown-up. So there you go. Take that to the goddamn, I don't want to say bank because those people have no money.
So do you have a folder on your computer right now that you have all of the audio files in that you've done this year?
Not this year. You can't. Because I have to move them. They're too big. That's what I'm saying. I have a file called 40-Year-Old Boy Audacity Projects, and it's got some stuff I did for Jesuit.
But when you export them to an MP3, where do you keep that file?
That's all on. It's all right. If I open the folder, it has the WAV, the MP3, the converted show, which is the final show, and then all the whatever data from and the actual.
And they're
Audacity
all in a
project.
Folder that says Audacity.
They're on the folder episode 12, episode 11, every episode
under
has
your
its own
Audacity projects, correct?
Yeah. Every folder, like when I finish this, when we finish here, hold on, you asked. When we finish here, I will create. When I get to it, I'll have to because I have to record my bit now. That's become a thing.
I don't think you do, but whatever.
I have to do the plugs. I can't do the plugs with you because that's boring for you. But I make it great because I'm fucking hilarious. But,
you are.
Yeah. All right. So I have a folder and it'll be episode 37. I think this is year 13. And then as the Audacity project gets saved into there with all of its data. And then I have to convert it to WAV and that'll go in there too. And then I convert that to MP3 and that goes in there too. And then I have to build the actual show. And then that all becomes episode whatever. So that's all in the folder.
Okay. So what years do you have saved over to your other external hard drives at this point?
That's the issue. I only have years 10, 11, 12, and then 13, or even 11, 12, and 13. I don't know. That
you saved over? And the rest are missing somewhere?
I don't have, this is the thing is I don't have any folders for the hard, like all I have for years 1 through 8 are the finished shows.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the because you recorded those, so I don't have any of that shit. But I have years 1 through 8. I have all the finished shows, and then I'd have to look at 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
But 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are on the other external hard drive or not?
I don't know. I think they are.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. What's on this machine right now that we're talking on? Mm-hmm. Jesus, by the way, everybody open a vein and kill yourselves.
No, this is fascinating. They want to understand because they want to know that it's available for posterity.
No, they want. I'm not even available for posterity. Jesus Christ.
Man, if you go before me, I'm coming to your house and all of these are going to the Smithsonian.
We both know I'm not going before you.
That's very true.
Clearly, because the second you're I'm on my way out, you're going to find a cliff. That's who you are. Fuck that. That motherfucker can't beat me. Even though because you know why? Because you're worried about what I'll tell him wherever we go. You're going to show up.
There's nothing to tell.
Everybody's going to be whispering, "Oh my God, that's her. Oh my God, can you believe it?"
I have 5 friends who promise me if there's ever a memorial service for me, they're going to show up and tell terrible lies, and I'm so happy about it.
Tell me lies, tell me terrible lies.
So again, you have copied none of the stuff on your hard drive over for 9, 10, or for 10, 11, 12, 13?
Nothing. There's nothing physical, no CD or any of that bullshit.
No.
I have all the. I'm pretty sure I have all of the digital files for the stuff that I didn't sell, like 1 through 9. I had a crash because that's another thing too. We're in talking about this.
What year was it where we talked about you going to the principal's office for one of these things? Is what comes next? And it was like orange and pear and monkey.
Oh, that was No, that was when I had to do the.
That's what I
testing.
feel like right now.
It was orange was to cherry as peach is to, and they said as pear is to, and they said peach, and I said no, it's rock, and they said no, those are all 4 fruits and they grow on trees, and I said no, those have 5 letters and those have 4 letters.
Yeah.
And they went and got another test.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. So my question to you again is everything residing on your hard drive right now for the years that you have all of the AUP files?
By the way, I recognize it wasn't those fruits. I'm an old man. I forget
Whatever.
what fruit it was.
I'm not worried
but
about
it was
it right
pear
now.
to rock. I know that because they wanted me to match pear to peach. Whatever. Annie, go ahead.
I don't even care anymore.
No, you're asking about physical files. I'll answer your
I'm not asking
questions.
about physical files. I'm asking about the digital files because I want to make sure that you make sure that they are all now on your new 5 terabyte hard drive.
All right. Well, I haven't even opened that. You saw it's clearly.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Let's do that right now while we're talking.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. Plug another thing into this fucking computer, dude. You don't even want. I'm at that moment now where like my Apple. I told you my H doesn't work on my keyboard.
No.
Okay. All right. My H doesn't work on my keyboard, and that's a them problem. They'll fix it for free.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, because these little flatline whatever keyboards, they fuck you up, and the H is gone, and the N is having problems. So, but I got to bring it in. Okay. Well, as we've all right. I have this the reason I got the second terabyte was because I was going to put all my photos. I was going to have just a thing for photos because there are photos on my machine that I don't think I want anybody at the Apple Store to see or find. There's some videos that they probably wouldn't be interested in, but who knows who's there and thinks to themselves, hey, I kind of like that guy's smile. What's he got going on? Oh my goodness. And here's the thing. It's not for me. I mean, if you want to download my cock to your phone, good for you. I mean, you're bored at a day job, go ahead and download my cock.
Is that available on your Patreon?
There may be other people involved in these videos or photos who would not be too thrilled about having that happen. And it's not a thing that I ever want to get out there because then that person would think that somehow, or those people, I should say, would think that I had somehow released them into the wild as some sort of, fucking attack or whatever the fuck. I don't want it. It just doesn't, I don't want it to happen. So I got this thing and I was going to transfer all my photos over, right? So I got this new terabyte one and I started to transfer because I got to brick the machine in order to bring it in to get the fucking H fixed.
Right.
So I hooked up the fucking terabyte and I tried to bring the photos over. It said it was going to take 3 days.
Probably.
And I'm like, all right, so it's like, a little like, with the wings on the folder, it flies over and all that shit. You're like, God damn it. And I'm sorry. Who has 3 days for anything, man? So like a day in, I turned it off. I was like, fuck you. I was pissed at it. And then I turned that backup terabyte because then my disk got full and my other terabyte is full. So I had to make the photo terabyte now the new terabyte to download the audio stuff. And that's why I then bought the 5 terabytes. I'm like, all right, you know what? There's a new fucking sheriff in town. He's got 5 guns instead of 1, and he's going to take care of all this bullshit. And here it sits in a closed box.
Can I make a suggestion?
I hope you will.
Turn the 5 into a time machine or buy a backup program and just back up your entire machine and then wipe your machine to take it in. And then when it comes back it up.
I have done that before and it has worked.
Yeah. So that's what you can do. But
I'm always terrified that the next time it won't. You know what I mean? Like I'll back it up in time machine and everything's square. And then I bring it in and some hobo who works at the Apple Store drops it on his foot and everything's broken and they don't tell me. And then I bring it here and then it plugs into the machine and they're like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, wait a minute, you've got all my life on there. So I don't want my terabyte to not recognize me because I bring back an imposter machine. What if my machine gets fucking amnesia? The guy drops it gets amnesia. It forgets who I am. It gets locked in, and then it's furious because then I'm putting all these plugs in it. It's like, who are all these strange men inside me? And then it has no fucking idea what's going on. And then I get some sort of fucking, and then it sends a virus through all of these things because it's just infecting out of spite. I can't have that happen. I don't want to betray this machine.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
Just take the photos folder and click delete. Then you don't have to worry about them getting out or not backing up. They're just gone and you made the decision.
Well, that's fun that you say that, but you know what? I need those photos sometimes.
Why?
Well, it's a long story.
I'm literally stroking my chin. You can't see this. I'm like, let the therapy begin.
Oh, well, no, that's funny because one of those words is key to why I need those photos.
Oh, man.
What are you talking about? I fucking called you today. And you're like, hey, what's going on over there? And I'm like, what? And you're like, when are you ready to go? And I said, I'm jumping in the shower in 15 minutes. She goes, what? She goes, have you jerked off yet?
No. Now you state this right. You mumbled and I couldn't hear you. And you said, I woke up 15 minutes ago. I'm about to jump in the shower.
Yes, which was, and then you said, oh, wow, it's the fastest jerk off session I've ever heard of.
Yes.
And in my mind, in my brain, I thought, all right, now, whose fetish is this at this point?
Nobody's. It was a joke.
If you're asking if I've jerked off yet in your sultry tones over the phone, I just woke up. I still got bedhead. So I'm like, well, hold on a second. Business just picked up. This is great. And just this disembodied lady voice on the phone. Now, certainly I see you as a sister.
You just made this really weird for everyone involved.
Because you know what? Some fuckhead. There's another guy who did that once. There's a photo. Maybe you know what? I'll use that photo this week. All right. I'm going to use the photo of us this week. It's a photo we took at the Tees once, and it was 80s night. And
I know what photo it is.
And I was the MC, and we took a photo because again, people who don't know us. Because there are people now, because I've been using you as the photo the last 5 weeks or so because we're doing the show now.
Because I'm a celebrity.
Well, you've been look, to the people who listen to the show, certainly you are. They were thrilled that you arrived because A, they love you, they want to hear from you, and they want to hear how you're doing. And 2, they're happy because you are dragging me to the microphone.
That's why they're happy.
No, incorrect. Because even when you weren't involved, they would ask me all the time, "Hey, how's Lily?" And I'd go, "Well, you didn't see her 75 posts on Facebook today? She's presently in a fight with the Pope. I don't know how the fuck that happened."
That fucking douche.
Yeah, right. That fucking guy. I don't know how this happened, but somehow she's fighting with the ghost of Archduke Franz Ferdinand about World War I.
Another dick. Another total dick.
Clearly, they're all dicks. And so the people would ask about you. So they're thrilled that you're here. And I'm glad that you're here as well. It makes me happy. For those 2 reasons. One, they love you and they want to find out how you're doing. But also because look, man, the dynamic of the show is this. I can do it by myself and probably will again in the future because you won't be doing this fucking forever.
You're going to fire me.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's going to be very difficult to fire you as I cling to your leg while you walk away. That's not just on the ground. You're trying to drag me like a fucking anchor. Yeah. So people are thrilled that you're here. So that's that. So
the picture at the Tees.
Yeah. So I started putting these pictures up now, and there are people who have become fans of the show in the interval. They know you because you've been mentioned, maybe whatever, that sort of thing. But I'm not as much a part of your daily life as I was then, because I was even hosting at the Tees sometimes, and I was doing this, and we would hang out, we'd go to a movie even and stuff like that. And things changed. So now I've been putting up these photos and people think you're my girlfriend.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is. It's all these new people and even older people who kind of like just fell out of it. And they're like, "Oh, you're back together with Lily." Like they think, because they think that we dated all through the show and that we maybe had a bad breakup. And then, because again, look, these people don't listen to the podcast. They have no idea what the fuck is happening. They just know that you were here and then you're not there. And now you're back again in the photos. And they're like, "Oh, they must've got back together." So there are people new people to this extravaganza who think that we are dating, and they think you're my new girlfriend. And so when I put up these photos, they're like, "Oh, you found." The people have written me. They're like, "I saw you found love. I'm very happy for you." And I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I do love you, but
thanks. There's always a big butt, Simone. Let's talk about your big butt."
So so I'll use that photo this week because the photo I'm going to use. That's so funny. Now that you said that. It was an 80s night at the Tees, and we've taken some, we've never
some questionable photos,
maybe, but all in good spirits and fun.
Yes.
And this particular one was one that when I first posted it, people were like, "Oh man!" Like there was a woman, there were some women that I knew from like Illinois, like back in the road, and from Chicago.
Illinois.
Well, just people I grew up with, and then people who I knew from the road, or people I met. I'm not going to out people, but
I want names.
No, that's okay. No, because what's funny is this person unfriended me. They knew me and I was a touring comic and I was, but I was a nice guy or whatever and all that stuff. And I guess they didn't like how I was on Facebook, even though I'm kind of the same. I thought I was the same dude, I suppose. But I put up a joke about Jesus or something. It was the joke. It was literally, it's a 3-word joke and I'm so proud of it. And it never got what I thought it should. Jesus wept. Pussy. Like I posted that once and people were like, "Wow, unbelievable, man." And I'm like, "What? It's a perfect 3-word joke. Why don't you fuck off?"
It is.
But yeah, so because again, it's not, I don't feel that way. It speaks to toxic masculinity. It speaks to the way they look at him now.
I feel that way.
It's all, yeah, exactly. But this is what I'm saying. If you put one iota of constructive thinking, critical thinking to it, you would go, "Oh, this is a bit, and it's a commentary on this." And but also at the same time, I recognize people get knee jerk and also because Facebook is enough of a place where people are like, "I don't like Jesus. And here's the reason why." Like everybody voices their fucking concerns.
I write that all the time.
Well, you have a specific problem with Jesus.
Here's the thing. I don't dislike Jesus because he doesn't exist. I dislike people who follow an imaginary person into the world and make that their identity.
I can understand it, but here's another thing. How about people who create an imaginary guy and they give him all these attributes and then they go, fuck those attributes. We're going to do what we want anyway. Like, you made him this benevolent dude who's nice to everybody, and they're like, fuck that guy. Here's what we're going to do. Wait a minute. You put him on money practically. You know what I mean? He's on every wall. There's a cross in every bathroom. What the fuck are you doing? And yet they're the guys who are like, hey man, what would Jesus do? He would do these great things because he's a brilliant guy. Watch, here's him. He's giving the milk of the lamb to a leper. He's fucking handing bread to a fucking hobo. And it's like, great. And now you're like, hey, there's a guy from Guatemala at the border. Fuck that guy. Wait. But he's wearing a cross and he has a Bible. Fuck that guy. It's a costume. He doesn't want to be here. Send him back to the Guats. Or do you call Guatemala the Guats? I do. Get him out of here. Send him back to the Guats. So there's this photo that we have. And when I first posted it, it caused a rigmarole. It caused
really?
Rowdy-dow. It caused some issues with people writing me and going, dude. But one guy specifically wrote under the photo, and this is the woman you call your sister. And so when you see this photo today, look down right now at they're at your iPod or whatever the fuck you're using, and look at this photo and realize that there was one guy who took it to that pitch, who was just like, and this is the woman you call your sister. And I'm like, look, I never had a sister. Is this not how you do it? I mean, I don't know. It seems strange.
Well, I guess I could understand why that would come off as rather weird, but in the context of the show, it's normal and silly and goofy, and we were mocking on things and having fun, and
we were fucking around.
Consensual.
Yes, it was 80s stripper night at the fucking Tees.
Yes.
So we recreated some of our favorite moments, is what we did from the 80s. Culminating in this photograph, and then there was and look, by the way, when I say this outrage or whatever, I might have gotten 15 emails from people.
That's a lot of people that don't understand context.
But at the time, here was the thing too. At the time, it was people who listened to the show. You know what I mean? So I was like, "What? You hear us? You hear this? You know this?"
Did they really think that we had some sort of hillbilly relationship going on?
I don't know.
In the wilderness of Blue Lagoon and not knowing better.
Well, it was Old Boy. We had an Old Boy relationship.
I want to make Blue Lagooned a verb.
You got Blue Lagoon. Oh, I got Blue Lagooned. Did you see what fucking happened? They got Blue Lagooned, man.
I really can't believe I'm making these jokes because it's terrible.
See, but that's the thing, though. You just let it go. You let your hands go. That's how it works. I actually, earlier in this podcast, I used the phrase "those people," and I'm still regretting it whatever time later, because I know someone will go, "Oh my God, I know what you meant by that. I didn't mean anything by that."
Context is everything, and a lot of stuff is taken out of context incorrectly. And I'm sure that there will people that will be shocked by this photo, but again, it was a joke. It was two people having fun pretending it was stripper night.
Well, nobody's going to be shocked anymore because nobody cares about us anymore. I mean, no offense, but I mean, like in the old days, we had a whole bunch of people like listening and competing and jumping in. Competing? Is there some sort of 40-year boy Olympics I didn't know about regarding photographs?
There's a fan club. Everyone wants to be number one.
True, and I don't blame people for that. So whatever. So I'll use that photo now that you mentioned it. It's so funny because this dude was like, and this is the woman you call your sister. And I was just like, oh man, dude, I can't help you if you're going to hold me to whatever. It's just not, it's like, all right, never mind. I'm not going to say
let's not. I don't know what that, that pause was enough to say, no, don't go there.
It's,
no, don't go there.
Okay, say something. Take me away from this nonsense or whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ.
Going back to your hard drive.
Oh boy. That's exactly.
I have concern for the history of these shows.
Is this about me jerking off again?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, honestly. So he calls me up and he goes, I go, hello. And he goes, 15 minutes. And I go, you woke up 15 years ago? What? I can't hear you.
I'm going to show you exactly why that happened. I was holding my phone like this.
Oh, so you had, okay.
My thumb is, I don't realize it. I'll hold my phone to talk and my thumb is over the goddamn microphone. So then, because it's happened And look, so here's the thing. It happens all the fucking time. You would think I would understand that I can't hold the fucking phone like that. But I also hate holding it like this because then I'm like, Pacino playing a cop in Alaska. You know what I mean? I'm like talking into it's like, fuck that. Don't.
I hold it like a microphone and just talk into it.
Oh, do that again.
Big, wide, thick microphone.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
so anyway, he says 15 minutes ago, I woke up and I'm like, wow, that was quick. I think I said that was pretty quick to.
That was the quickest jerk off session I know I've ever heard.
I don't think did I say jerk off session? Maybe I did. I don't know.
You said that was the quickest stroking your cock slowly.
I don't know. I don't think I said that.
I
don't know that I think I said that.
You might have. That's what I heard, kind of.
I don't think I said that either.
You know who we are? You're Juliette Lewis and I'm Tarantino from Dusk Till Dawn. You remember that scene?
No, we are not. Because that is really creepy.
She's just looking at him and she's like, Richie, will you eat your pussy for me? And he's like, what? And she didn't say anything. And that's what Tarantino saw and heard. He's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's probably what you said to me this morning when you were asking.
Anyway, I said, I think that was the fastest you've ever jacked off. I think that's probably what I said because jacked off is a term I use.
That's probably it.
So you laugh jokingly and then had to do 20 minutes on taking the shower and the time it takes.
Well, I said, no, I'm not edging. No, I said, we're jumping right into business.
Yeah, we're not edging.
We're just taking care of it. Yeah. Because, I wasn't about to let that operate. Okay, look, if you're going to talk to me about jerking off, let's fucking do it, baby. I worry sometimes that this show has way too much of that. You know what I mean? Because I thought about it. I'm like, other podcasters have children and maybe they talk about jerking off or they don't or whatever the fuck, or they got wives. I don't know. But I mean, but here's the thing. You know what? Jerking off is healthy. I read it. I was up to twice a day during the pandemic, but it was only because I don't want to get prostate cancer. I took no joy out of it. I did it. It was just like fucking taking vitamins, man. That's all it was. It was like daily. It was like taking a daily constitutional, except I did it with my wrist. Twice a day.
People have kids. People still jack off. I don't understand why it is so. I mean, I wouldn't sit down and have a conversation with my child about how many times I did that.
Well, that's the thing is maybe they don't talk about it for fucking 40 minutes like I did one time on this goddamn show with you.
So what?
I don't think it's bad. I'm just saying. I'm wondering though sometimes.
Not everything in the world is made for kids. Okay,
but even the adults listening might at 40 minutes just go, Jesus fucking Christ, pal. Holy shit. I mean, because at that point. Because now, look, I'm going to say this, and you can't deny it, listeners. I talk about it, and I talk about it for 15 minutes, whatever, and you're like, ha, ha, ha. And then 20 minutes, you're like, Jesus Christ. And when I get to 35 minutes, I don't care whether you deny it or not. You can't say no because I'm absolutely right. You're picturing it. The idea is in your head. You're seeing it. If you've met me, you see my face. God damn it. So that's what I'm saying. Am I unfortunately lulling them into a false sense of security? And then I talk about it for 40 minutes. They're like, oh, I can't unsee that, even though they didn't really see it. Now it's stuck in their brain.
All I'm thinking now is the meet and greets and the handshaking.
Oh, that's why, you know what? They thought the pandemic took handshaking away. I'm going to make sure we just fist bump forever.
Oh, that sounds terrible too.
What? No, because fist bump, close fist. Yeah, close fist doesn't work. You gotta go. All right, never mind. I'm actually practicing grips. No, you go.
I wish you could see him actually holding his hand up right now. Sure, I may release the audio of this 5 minutes right here.
I've actually had someone, our friend KC, who puts these shows on YouTube. He's like, you should release the video of these Zooms. And I'm like, and first of all, I haven't answered his text. He wrote me a week ago. So KC, I'm addressing you here. No, I'm not releasing the videos from these Zooms because again, I don't have a shirt on and Lily is
neither do I.
Yeah, she's completely naked and
my brother.
In a cluttered office that you would not believe. Now look, did I do the show previously from cluttered, the fucking oldest house in Hollywood or whatever the fuck? Yes. But it wasn't on video. That's the thing. If you see this video, people are going to go, oh, well, although it may pick up the Patreon because people are like, we got to save that guy from himself.
I wouldn't mind if you put the videos in the Patreon. I would probably do my hair though. And by the way, I'm sorry. I've deleted the videos from everyone that we've recorded so far. So this would be the first one that I have. Even.
But that's a thing. We could take care of easily the day we recorded. You could just send the video to me and then delete it on your machine or whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, nobody wants it. It's Casey wants it, and he's a lovely man. But if I put it on the Patreon, nobody's gonna fuck it. Like if you listen to a fucking podcast, because again, the segments with me and you are 2 hours. Or whatever the fuck. So if you do that, you're not going to go watch it then later to go see it on a screen to see what they look like when they talk. You already heard the goddamn thing.
Well, it's interesting you should say that because one of the Patreons that I support is Shazam, which is a and it's SHE, Shazam. And it is
Of course it is.
It is a podcast that hopes to be obsolete because it talks about the need for understanding gender disparity in magic and why women need to be elevated and brought in and welcomed. And they're hoping that someday they never have to do this podcast again because people are on equal foot in magic. And it's a wonderful, they've interviewed me. They're very nice.
You know what? Let me tell you right
early.
now. No, I'm going to stop you right now. One day, we put our foot in the ground, ladies. One day, we will be the saw-er and not the saw-e. I'm all for equality in magic. Get out of the box, ladies. Put the saw in your hands. Take over.
We are.
Saw the patriarchy in half.
We are. The future of women is magic and non-white, just so you know. It is, truly. Because why does it have to be a magic wand? You could have a magic vulva and wave it around. I'm sure that'd work out. That's why I started doing magic, which is why I really love this podcast. But I have a point.
Okay.
The point is they release the podcast early to the Patreon people. So they get it a day before everybody else.
Yes.
So having the video in there might be, instead of going to listen to the audio, some people will just go watch the video and listen.
Yeah.
And sadly, I'm going to say he is wearing a shirt, and so am I. So,
well, but also now you're creating work, and I know I got to.
I'm not creating work because when this is over, I could easily take this, I could downsize it and upload it to YouTube for myself, and give you a link that you can send out to your Patreons only. I mean, that is something I can do. I'm not necessarily sure I would want to do that today because honestly, I look terrible. I've been sick for 2 days.
Let's address that real quick too, because I posted yesterday in the fan club page that the show was postponed because there was illness about, and everyone was very kind. I instantly got like 10 texts, and then people they all told me to feel better, and I hope you're okay. And which was nice. Again, they're very nice. But because I didn't say you were sick, I wasn't sick. I'm indestructible. You can't kill me. We know this. But Lily has been sick. She had migraines and a lot of throwing up and stuff. But you didn't say, like, I didn't want to tell everybody and blow up your spot that you were sick.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I know.
You can.
All right. Well, then everybody, there you go.
We're late this week because of me. That's what it really comes down to.
Well, no, it's not even late anymore. The good thing is, and again, I'm learning. I went in and told people. I said, listen, because again, people are waiting for me, I'm sure, to stop doing this at some point. But I said, look, I'm just letting you know, there won't be a show in the morning because sickness is here, but I will do my best to get it up Thursday because I really want it to be back to a Thursday schedule. You know what I mean? And if I'd love for it to be up there Thursday at 6 a.m. when people get up. But if I get up Thursday 6 p.m, then that's fine too. I can deal with that as long as people get it on a Thursday, and I feel okay about it. So we'll see. But yeah, you were sick and you're better now.
I literally called at like 11 and said, I'm not sure I can do this today. I have a migraine and I'm going to go take a nap and see if that helps. And I called back at about 4:30 and went, it's not helping. I was having some real issues. I have some real stomach issues because I'm on some pretty harsh medications that do some crap to your body. And so, yeah, it's not been fun.
Well, you were worried because you're very cautious. We've been to Costco and you're in bubble wrap, you know what I mean? And that's fine. And we roll you around and you're jazzy like a mummy. But you wear your masked or double masked or however you want to work it. I wear a mask in the car because you asked me to be, and I want to do it to make you feel comfortable. That's fine. But you went out Monday.
I did.
And you hadn't done a thing. You hadn't gone out Monday in anger, certainly in a while. And then to get sick 2 days later.
I was a little concerned because I was feeling flushy. I didn't have a fever or anything, but I was like, I'm feeling really nauseous and feel flu-like symptom kind of. And that scares me because I don't go out in public a lot because I'm concerned about getting COVID because it would not be good for my body in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I was a little concerned.
But you're okay now.
Yeah. Which, by the way, on Monday, I went to the circus. I went to Circus Vargas. And if you've never been to Circus Vargas in California, it is a California one-ring circus. It is absolutely wonderful. And the show that they have out this year is spectacular. So you should go check it out.
Yes,
My friends own it, and it's really fun, and it's a great circus.
I enjoy the fact that you're like, oh man, I can't go out. I'm going to catch something, and then you go somewhere with llamas. You're like,
they don't have pets. They don't have any animals.
I'm so worried about getting sick. I've got to stay in and protect myself. And then you're all of a sudden you're like, hey, what's that? A wombat? Let's go pet it. Oh Jesus! No. You know what? You have hoof and mouth disease. There's no fucking way. You have. You didn't get fucking COVID. You got some fucking penguin flu or some shit.
They don't have animals. I wish they did.
This is what you say, but they have them. They just don't bring them out.
They keep them in a
pen. No, it's not a circus. Well, then it's not a circus. Then it's just.
It is a circus.
No, then it's just the Friendly Vargas brothers. That's all it is. There's no circus if there's no fucking animal jumping through a hoop. I need a braying burro. I need a giraffe. I need all of that stuff. That's a circus.
Well, I take it back. There is a cat puppet in the show. So there is a cat in the show.
Wow, you need a dictionary because you don't understand.
No, they are a family circus, and it is all just incredibly talented circus families that have been around. The owner, I think, is 8th generation circus. It's crazy.
Mike, I'm going to need you to wear a mask in the car because I'm very vulnerable to germs. Hey. Let's go stand ankle deep in sheep dip to say hi to Jim.
I am not around animals. Although I do have an animal with me today. I have my photographer's dog with me for 2 days.
I've heard there is a dog about in the house, which is great. I'm so jealous of you. Is the dog named Sparky?
Sparky.
Bad name.
I call her Sparkles.
All right, okay. I could live with that more than Sparky. Sparky's
But she is Sparky. She is just a joy to be around. Absolutely amazing.
Dog either has to have a person name.
No.
Like Rick.
No,
that's fucking awesome. Hey, come here, Robert. See, that's hysterical. Or it has to be named something completely ludicrous like Cincinnati. See, that's fucking awesome.
Okay, I would name a dog Cincinnati.
Right? I already know it. Like I said, if I get a dog, I already know his name is Ravioli. I already fucking know it. It's like, hey, come here, Ravs. What's up, Ravs? Ravioli. What are you talking about? It's a genius name. Ravioli, the fucking Boston Terrier? How genius would that be? I'll make $1 million on my Instagram. It'll be so fucking genius. As he tries to breathe and I film it because I'm a cruel master. You ever see those things trying to breathe? It's so brutal. Oh man.
Pretty rough.
And again, I'm a 55-year-old man. I follow like 4 different Boston Terriers.
Of course you do.
Weirdo. And well, I will say this though. This one woman, she has 2 Boston Terriers. One's named Hawk and one's named Ellie. But the reason I started following her is I found her, and Hawk is named after the pro wrestler Hawk from the Road Warriors, who I loved growing up. And I was like, this woman's the greatest ever. I love her so much, and I love the dogs. But her dogs. And I don't know if this is a full-on Boston Terrier thing or just hers, or perhaps she snipped something that she shouldn't have. I don't know. But when they try to bark, they can't. They don't like ruff, 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 ruff. They're like, they sound like you're trying to start a leaf blower. They just make a groaning weird noise. It's like if you heard it in the bush in Africa, you would flee to your tent and zip it up. It's that fucking
wrong.
They can't, because they're trying, but they can't get it out. And I don't know if that's a thing with all Boston Terriers or if she had them silenced, like in some sort of weird Twilight Zone experiment. I don't know.
I'm going to say she bred them with their brother or sister.
Oh no, an inbred terrier? That's not good.
A lot of dogs that are inbred, that are purebreds, have a lot of weird, awful issues.
Well, I don't think she bred them. That's the deal. Is like that. Like I'll follow these dogs. I follow I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I think I follow 10 different dogs on fucking Instagram. I follow Norbert, who's fucking awesome. He's got his little tongue hanging out all the time. And then Hawk and Ellie, and then I follow this one Boston Terrier whose family is rich. His wife is Brazilian. Wife seems aggressive, probably his owner. And she's, I think, Brazilian. And they live in New York, but they live on like one of those penthouses in the sky. Like, I mean, it's crazy where they live. And then sometimes they'll go to their house in the Hamptons, and then they'll let it run around in the yard and chase a deer or a squirrel. Uh-huh. And I live the thing is, I live vicariously through them, not just as owners of dogs, but as rich people. So then I like that thing where you're like, oh man, on Thursday, they just decide they're going to go to the Hamptons and bring the dogs to run through leaves and shit like that. What a great decision that would be. Oh my God. Like I can remember the times we went to, look, cause we don't get a fall here. We do, but it's not the same, obviously. But when we would get fall in Chicago, I remember once, not even once, like a bunch of times, you'd go out and there's leaves and you'd stay in somebody's house or whatever, in that cabin. And I told you, my whole life is just spent in pursuit of a big chill weekend. That's with my friends. That's all I want. If we got some house that was fucking big with a giant kitchen and we all fucking stayed in it and we all cooked and we fucking got high and then we
Do you remember what brought them all together?
Yes, and I'm willing to arrange that if it gets me and my friends together. I don't care. We'll draw straws. Let's go to the fucking lottery. I'll do that. Well, you know what? That actually ties into the whole fucking weekend. Let's get the cabin and we'll all go there for a big chill weekend. And then we all put our slips of paper in the box and whoever's name comes out, guess what, buddy? You're the reason we're here. And then we stone the fuck out of them. And then we all go, hey, and I don't want a spoiler alert for the lottery if you didn't read it in fucking 8th grade. Do they still read that, you think? That scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. Dude, the lottery and the monkey's paw. Dude, the fucking monkey's paw.
Eddie and I were just talking about the monkey's paw today because he was like, what do you mean? I don't think he'd ever read it.
Oh my, you're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Dude, monkeys got it rough. You know what? Monkeys have to be so pissed because they're us, but without pants. And they're just like, we could run this fucking thing if we could just put on pants. But then we put them in pants and we make them juggle and shit. We don't ever give them pants to work at a fucking stockbroker house. And monkeys are like, this is infuriating. You put me in pants, which is all I need. That's literally all that separates me from you is fucking pants. And then you put the pants on me and then you make me juggle. Fuck that. Monkeys want a job. Monkeys want to be trained. Let's reach out to these fucking monkeys. Last week I talked about ants and fucking bears. And then, I'm not joking, the Washington Post this week ran an article and it said the number of ants on the planet Earth is, and the quote was, unimaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would have to make up a number, like a fucking gigaton Googleplex, whatever the fuck number, to make sure everybody knew how many ants were here. Like I said last week, we have to get ahead of this. The ants are going to learn. You don't think they listened to my show last week and they're wising up? It's all going around the fucking ant communities. And the same thing with the monkeys. The monkeys that's if we just teamed up with the monkeys, an unholy alliance. Let's go ahead and get the apes and the monkeys because they're all just like us. They got thumbs and the whole fucking deal. The only thing that separates us is pants. But we think we put them in pants and then we make them do dumb shit. And instead of that, because another thing too is like monkeys are like, I look good in shoes. And we're like, how about these roller skates? And then fucking monkeys got to roll around. Dude, did you see that monkeys are being used for labor? Did you see that fucking story?
No.
Oh, dude. This is a real fucking story. In like, I don't know, Borneo, Monkey Town, wherever the fuck. Like Costco. And they claim that it's not true. Okay. But they claim that Costco has pledged. Now, first of all, the very fact that you have to fucking pledge this. Costco has pledged not to stock coconut products from suppliers who use monkey labor. Because what apparently is happening is, I don't know where, like I said, Borneo, Monkey Town, wherever, they're finding the monkeys. And they chain them up and they send them up the tree to pick coconuts. And they're using them to get the coconuts off the tree because it saves them the cost of a giant crane or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And I love the fact that, by the way, slavery is illegal. So they went, all right, we got to enslave something. What could we possibly do?
Oh, humans.
You know what? Monkeys are close. They just don't have pants. Let's fucking enslave these assholes.
Oh, humans.
And you're right. Humans suck. But then my favorite part is Costco has to step forward because people were pissed and Costco's like, we will never, ever stock a product from a company that uses monkey labor. And I'm like, wait, all right. You knew about this, you motherfuckers. Do not pretend you didn't. The fact that you had a somber press conference where you had to say, you know what? We pledge from this moment on. Of course, because you can't fucking backspace it for fucking 3 years or 10 years when you knew monkeys were in the jungle picking your fucking almonds, you dicks. And the phrase, this is totally true. This is what the guy said. This is in the press release. You can Google it. I'm not kidding. No kind shopper wants monkeys to be chained up and treated like coconut picking machines.
That's what they said.
This guy has overestimated me in so many ways, because I gotta be honest with you, that is exactly what I want. All I want is for monkeys to be chained up and treated like coconut picking machines. How dare you think I want less? Jesus Christ. No kind shopper. And he has to throw that bullshit in there. So like, so what? So Because he knows who are members of Costco, like yourself. Yeah, the kind ones don't want it, but all the people who are eating 14 samples off one fucking tray before anybody else can get another toothpick in their hands, those people want the monkeys to be picking fucking coconuts. They don't give a shit. This world doesn't give a shit anymore. If it means I get my coconut milk one day faster, chain up the chimps. Isn't that fucking awful? And that's a real thing. That's a real fucking thing. If it means I can possibly make my smoothie an hour earlier, chain up the chimps. Get them in the fucking trees and shake those coconuts loose. I got a meeting at 10.
I can't stop thinking about that phrase.
What?
How many lawyers did it have to go through? Because they're like, we can't say slave labor. We can't say animal abuse. We can't say what is a word we can use to describe the horrible practice of chaining monkeys to get
exact. All right, but wait a minute. If you would have said, we do not condone monkey slavery, done. That's it. And you know what? It's a powerful message and it gets it across. But the fact that you extrapolated into this like qualifying bullshit, that makes it worse.
Monkey slavery sounds racist in any way you phrase that. It sounds awful.
That's a you problem.
No, that is racism when you use the term slavery, in my opinion.
I see.
And so I don't think that you want to use the word slavery and dredge up all of the history of the continent. You know what I mean? So, I
understand what you're saying, but by having to go and qualify it with this
many words, that is the thing, because you can't just say we don't believe in chaining up animals, period, and making them work. But coconut.
All right, well, wait a minute. Here's what I love. I love the idea of the guys who have chained up the monkeys.
Really?
Hearing the statement. And going, because the statement is no kind shopper wants monkeys to be chained up and treated like coconut picking machines. And the guys are in the tent in Ghana or wherever the fuck they are. And they're like, wait a minute. There are coconut picking machines? You sent me into the bush to grab fucking 15 angry chimps and put them on a chain gang, and you've got a coconut picking machine on Amazon you could have bought in seconds, you fucking dick?
Yeah.
Who are the true slaves? The monkeys or the monkeys' masters? The ones sent into the jungle, into the underbrush to flush out a gibbon to pick me a coconut. Who among you will say who is the true slave in this scenario? Dude, no kind shopper. You're right. No kind shopper. I got news for you. The majority of your shoppers, not kind. I have seen a guy elbow somebody in the sternum for a piece of ham in your fucking store. Please tell me that guy, if you went up to him and go, hey, how do you feel about coconut picking monkeys? He'd be like, where? Give me the remote. Let's fucking do it. And I got to be honest with you, I might be with him. I mean, I don't want it to happen. If I look at it, and this is a sentence I've never said, but I think with the life I've lived, I can't believe it hasn't come out of my mouth at this point. If I look at it from the monkey's perspective, clearly, then I agree. No kind shopper wants this to happen. However, from the human perspective, like I said, we put them in roller skates over here. They're juggling. They're doing dumb shit.
I don't think we still do. But
we sell them to pedophiles in this country.
I don't think we did that either.
We did? But you think it ended with Michael? Tell me there aren't pedophiles out there who are buying fucking monkeys because they wish they had a kid. That's all a monkey is for a pedophile is fucking pedophile practice. They're like, you know what? I can't get my hands on a kid because of fucking laws. So give me a monkey. Let's go to work. I'll name him Jeff. I'll name my monkey Jeff and pretend he's a first grader. Let's fucking make this happen. He's certainly a hairy first grader, but I don't care. I can make it work.
Don't believe I'm laughing at this one.
I don't want to get into the mind of a pedophile. Too deep. I don't want to do that.
Too deep.
But clearly, they're buying the monkeys for a reason. There's no
because people are horrible.
There's only two reasons a pedophile buys a monkey.
No, I don't want to.
There's only two reasons a pedophile buys a monkey: to pretend, to make him watch, or to pretend he's a kid. Oh fuck, I fucked it up. God damn it, you covered your ears and I fucked the joke up. There's only two reasons a pedophile buys a monkey: to pretend he's a kid or to make him watch. That's it. Yeah, see the effectiveness of what I had if you hadn't covered your ears and I spit it out dumbly. Well, yes, it's a pedophile. Anything he does is going to be awful. A pedophile could go into Subway and order a sandwich, and it's awful. It doesn't matter. Anything a pedophile does is terrible.
Human race is terrible.
Yes. Again, the concept of slavery itself is a fucking abomination and a stain that will never be washed off humanity. But the very fact that because of what happened and all this, they still went to they went, you know what, fuck. Like I said, we got to change something up. And they went and looked for animals. You know what I mean? They're like, because again, I picture those dudes are like, you know what? Let's start a coconut milk business. I love this idea. There's fucking coconuts everywhere. And those two dudes walked out into the wild and they walked up to a coconut tree and they looked fucking 8 feet in the air and they were like, oh man, I can't reach these coconuts. You want to get on my shoulders? Oh man, I still can't reach these coconuts. You know what? I just had the best idea ever. Go get those chains from the trunk. Holy shit. Because look, it wasn't done in committee. That was a decision made in the wild. There's no way.
Very true.
No dude sat there and no one had an Excel spreadsheet and went monkey plus chain equals coconut goodness. Nobody fucking did that at all. Monkey plus chains equals dollar signs. Nobody typed that into an Excel spreadsheet. That was two dudes at a tree who went, you know what? Let's fucking throw a chain on fucking Roscoe over there and get him up here to grab us some coconuts so we can start this milk business we've been babbling about for a month. Fucking brutal.
Poor monkeys.
And then I love the fact that someone found out about it and then it got leaked into the atmosphere and then the fucking Costco guy had to deal with it. Imagine if you're fucking Larry, the guy who runs Costco, and you're like, all right, we got a meeting. What's on the agenda today? Are we talking about hot dog prices? Nope, still staying low. Terrific. What about that pizza that I love so much? Yes, we're keeping it low. Fantastic. Any other business? Because I got an early golf weekend. Well, there is one thing, Larry. All right, make it quick. It's come to our attention that the coconut milk we're stocking, yes, it's moving, right? Supposedly all these dirty hippies come in here and they buy it because it's a little cheaper than the regular ones. Yes, so the coconut milk people, yeah, they use it for their healthy bullshit, right? Yes, exactly. But Larry, here's the issue. What, are we running low on supplies? No, Larry, it's a little more complicated than that. Well, spit it out. I've got to have tea time in an hour. Larry, it's come to our attention that certain countries are enslaving monkeys. Let me stop you right there. Is this going to be a conversation? Because again, I've got a plane to catch and a tea time in an hour. Larry, we've got to discuss this. Countries are enslaving monkeys to pick the coconuts used to make the milk on our shelves. I went to Wharton Business School. Right? You're aware of that. I didn't go to the Ringling Brothers College. I don't, why are you bringing me monkey news? I don't give a fuck about monkey news. Yes, but unfortunately, it's in the ether and people know about it. Well, so what? These dirty hippies want their coconut milk, don't they? Sometimes you got to break a few eggs. Sometimes you got to chain up a few monkeys. You want to make it happen? It's got to happen. Oh, dude, the guy from Costco went to Wharton and he's got to get ahead of the monkey slavery story. What a fucking drag. That guy's like, oh man, I want to keep hot dog prices low, pizza prices low, and this thing's going to run itself. No, sir.
No.
There's a speed bump, and it's monkey shaped. All right. Everybody by now has turned off their iPods and is not listening anymore, and I totally understand that. See, this is the kind of shit that leads to Planet of the Apes.
No, it does not.
No, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Because there's gonna be a fucking Cornelius. There has to be. A lot of these monkeys are like, fuck chains, fuck coconuts, fuck this sucks. They don't even pay us. And there's gonna be one Cornelius who's gonna Norma Ray the shit out of this and ring the monkey bell and unionize these motherfuckers, and then they're gonna go. And then it's over. Then it's over for these fucking fools.
How did you put Norma Ray in the Planet of the Apes?
Because Because Cornelius is he's gonna organize the monkeys like Norma Ray did. He's gonna climb up and ring the bell and unionize the monkeys, and then you know whose ass they're in? Oh my God. Then they're in Larry's ass. Larry, you might want to cancel that tea time because Cornelius just fucking Norma Ray'd this shit and rang the bell. And and I gotta be honest with you, I gotta think Costco would be more furious that the monkeys unionized than they did they got chained up and made coconuts. Very true. In this country, they'd be like, literally, so these monkeys are picking coconuts? They are. And they're in chains and they're struggling? They are. And the problem? Let's come to our attention that the monkeys have formed a union and talked to some of the Teamsters about, oh my God, get the fucking strikebreakers on the phone. I just want to, you know what? I want to see a monkey picket line with just signs that say, ooh, ooh. Just a fucking monkey. All their signs, the sign just says,
You made me laugh so hard. Oh my God.
Your microphone just turned off too, so nobody heard it. But
yeah. You made me laugh so hard. I sneezed twice. Oh God.
Well, as we learned last week, that could be something else, quite frankly. I love oh my God, the sign. He's got a sign on it. It says that on there. Oh God, I'm the funniest guy on earth. Oh fuck. There's gonna be a Cornelius. All right, what's the name of the show? Chain Up the Chimps, or there's gonna be a Cornelius.
Oh no.
Oh man, I'll write him down and decide later.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. And you support this, by the way, because you're a Costco person, so you're all in.
I don't support anything anymore except abortion rights.
Oh, Christ. I saw a thing today, and I don't want to get into this a lot.
Too late. I will for you.
Like you've seen that all the Republicans now are scrubbing it from their websites, and they're trying to proclaim that they're not against abortion. Let's say they're not against abortion, but they're not against abortion. Like they don't want to talk about it. All right.
Yes, they are. They are acting like complete lunatics. And
they're trying
saying,
to hide.
We never voted against this. We wanted it to go to state rights. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell is saying we want a national ban, talking out of the other side of his face. Yes. And it's insane.
But it's all these people in these individual races now because they see the polling behind it. They realize that there is a lot of support for abortion and for women's rights. And so after what happened in the previous elections, they all ran for cover. Now they won't disavow it and they won't say, no, I'm all for abortion, although I'm sure some of them at some point, or eventually they're all just going to show up with hangers at a podium, you know what I mean? Like, yes. But the thing that drove me crazy is I saw today on Twitter, and again, Twitter's not real life. All right. I recognize this, everybody. This isn't speaking for everybody. It's like, did you see the story this week about people making chicken in NyQuil?
I saw the news report about not cooking chicken in NyQuil.
Yes. Well, it's because here's why. This is, as you know, being familiar with as familiar with TikTok as you are.
I will live on TikTok till I die.
Yes.
It is the only place I want to be because it's hilarious.
And also you can find what you want to find and watch the cool things you want to watch. Yes, you can kind of aggregate your own fucking content. Well, there is people do. Remember the milk challenge?
Yes.
When people would throw the milk in the air, whatever the fuck, all that dumb stuff. And then
chip challenge, all the stupid stuff people are doing.
Right. Yeah. And people do that stuff online. And so now there's a video of somebody literally like brining or marinating chicken in NyQuil and then cooking it. He made a video of it or whatever the fuck for TikTok. Now that was just like one person doing it. And I'm sure some more TikTok people, whatever the fuck they did. But then the news reported it like it was a real thing that was happening. And this is the issue we have now. There's a lot of issues we have now, but because the media has to constantly feed the machine. Like I read a story yesterday in Rolling Stone. It was about there's the chess thing that's going on, which I'm not going to get into.
The anal beads.
Yeah.
I hope it's true. It's hilarious.
Right,
it's
right.
Genius.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, because again, as we've talked about many times, I used to do this joke about quarters. There's always one competitor who comes along and changes the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when the first person dropped a quarter off their nose and let it bounce into the cup, there you go. You've now elevated the sport.
Yep.
And the guy who decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to put electronic anal beads up my ass to tell me and vibrate and let me know when I'm supposed to make a chess move. The guy's changed the game forever.
Yep.
But these stories all feed upon themselves. They become like an Ouroboros where it's just eating its tail over and over. And
then you have
stop.
satanic panic.
Yes, and people. So then the FDA has to issue a statement that says, "Don't make any fucking chicken and NyQuil," even though nobody really was making chicken and NyQuil. But these videos are a cottage industry. There's a video where this woman claims she can steam the ridges out of ruffles, and she, not joking, she like wets a towel, she wraps up the ruffles, she puts them in a clothes dryer and lets them tumble, pulls them out, and then the chips are smooth, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" So then all these people, dumb people, try it, and other people are like, "Whatever." But it's all just geared toward eyeballs to get you to watch. All it is now is online. The currency is eyeballs, because then you can say, look at the followers.
But it's always been that way online. It's always been that way on TV. It's always been that way.
Yes, but now that because people are seeing TikTok and Facebook as viable places to advertise, then they are ramping up that content. Like there's one dude.
Yes.
There's one dude who has like, I think it's like 100 different Facebook channels of people cooking noodles and motor oil. You know what I mean? Like dumb shit like that. But not inedible, not things that will harm you, but literally.
Yes.
Like you ever seen the woman who's like, oh, this is the greatest pasta hack you'll ever see. And then she like makes pasta sauce on an open countertop. Like it's with her hands and she's all fucking gross and messy. She scrapes it all into a pot and then she pulls out like a lasagna and everybody's like, that's not real, is it?
No, it's not real. Yes.
But all it is it's meant to get you to watch for 4.5 minutes. Or they have people who make stuff. The worst thing is when again, I've talked about this on here before, women with no bras and hard nipples, making cereal or whatever the fuck. They're like, yes. Oh, this is a cereal hack you won't believe. And I'm like, hold on a second.
Yes, this is not about cereal.
Yeah. Are we talking about fruity areolas? What are we doing here? We got...
That's the name of the show. Sorry.
Fruity areolas? Because I'm in. Give me a fucking spoon. I'll do that all day. The worst of those videos is when the chick is doing all the stuff and then there's a dude who's like, wow, oh my gosh. Oh, this is really? That's amazing. Okay. Well, that's good.
Hilarious.
No.
I love all of it. I think it's all absolute. The only thing I don't like is the really terrible magic, where it is like really terrible magic and everyone is in on it. And it's like, hold on, we're going to do this. And then she doesn't know those stupid pranks that are not pranks, that are not funny. But I think the rest of it is hilarious. Yeah. TikTok is everyone getting to be their own writer, director, and actor, and I think it's fantastic. And the fact that the FDA had to come out and say don't cook stuff in NyQuil just goes to show the same reason why it says wash, rinse, repeat on shampoo.
Yeah, and caution hot.
Yes.
All that stuff. I get it. And the McDonald's coffee, the bullshit.
Why do you think that TikTok is not real? I mean, is it because of all of the pranks?
TikTok is real. No, I'm saying Twitter. Twitter is not real.
Twitter is not real. Yeah.
Because yesterday on Twitter, there was people inflate their own importance on Twitter. People can be whoever they want to be on Twitter. There's all this nonsense. And also they'll give you like the right-wing machine. I'll talk about them for just a second here. They'll talk about, like, to this day, they'll still say, there's guys who are like, I can't go out of my door in New York. It's so dangerous. Like when you walk outside, literally you're in danger of getting killed or crime at any time. And then there are people who post a photo. They're like, this is my courtyard and this is Central Park and you're a fucking insane person.
Yeah.
And it's all fear mongering and garbage and stuff. And then also on the extreme left, there's the people who are like, ha, Cheeto Jesus is going to jail finally. And I'm like, he's never going to jail. He's never going to jail. Quit with this bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what I mean is it's like everyone has this extreme fucking viewpoint on either side and they suck and shout and they yell and they do this dumb stuff. And it's just, that's why I say it's not real life. It's just embarrassing. You got a dog barking? What's happening?
Yeah, the dog just barked and I don't know why. It's okay. I'm listening.
Either. So I saw a petition. This made me laugh on Twitter. And it was a petition online started by a person. I didn't even know the fucking, again, I don't know this person. It got retweeted into my timeline. And it was a petition to kick Russia out of the UN. And it's like, sign today, petition to kick Russia out of the UN. We need 150,000 signatures. And I laughed. I'm like, well, hold on a second. You really want me involved in this? I literally just spent all night catching up with the Halloween baking championship. And now you want to rope me in on international diplomacy? Is that who you want? You want me involved? And that's what I'm talking about. So then, because then again, you get your 150,000 signatures, and then you know what you do? You throw that in the trash, and you think of another petition to get more engagement and more bullshit and more retweets and garbage. It's false. It's absolute trash. It drives. They showed there was a clip from Iran that I saw, and I got to say this: the clip was fucking. Is it Iran or Iran, whatever? Amazing clip. It was fucking awesome. It was a cop. It was like one protester, and he's like, down with the Shah, whatever the fuck, and he's upset. And he's furious, but he's in the street. And then one cop comes over. He's like, do. And again, their cops aren't like our cops. Their cops are because their cops are wearing regular clothes.
Well, they have several types of cops.
Well, the cop in this clip is not wearing Batman's armor. You know what I mean?
He's the morality police, and that's a real fucking thing. I
don't doubt it, but whatever. He was trying to tell this protester not to protest or whatever the fuck. So he. And then the protester's like, come on, buddy, come on. And he's backing up. And the cop is just walking over. Like, and honestly, this cop has got a nightstick and a taser. He almost looks like an Irish cop on the beat in like 30s New York. Like he's going to pick up an apple on his way over. Like, let me tell you better shut it down over here, boy. No processes on my block. But he's from Iran, so I'm sure he didn't talk like that. So he goes over and he's walking over and he's like, the best part is he's got the fucking stick and the taser like, zzz, zzz, like, haha, I'm going to get you with this. Zzz, zzz. And the guy backs up. And the cop comes into frame, and all of a sudden, like jets and sharks, 6 more protesters come out like, ha, behind the other protester.
Oh, fuck.
And then the cop is like, zzz, 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 zzz. Like, is the taser going to scare anybody here? And then the cop's like, and he starts to back up a little bit. And then the protesters kind of come running at him, and he turns around to run. And dude, it looked like a clip out of fucking 28 Days Later. Like 30 protesters from everywhere off fucking camera swarm this fucking dude. And they're on him and they just fucking bury him like World War Z style. But here's the thing. They're protesting. So they're not trying to kill a guy. If they were the pack of teenagers who fucking killed the dude in Suddenly last summer, they would have torn him to fucking bits. Like, because you get enough people to do it. You could have stomped this guy into a fucking a police stain on the ground, but they're kicking him and kind of hitting him and punching him, but with no real authority. Look, if you're getting kicked by 30 people, there's fucking authority.
I was just gonna say,
but still, but not like they could have been. Like they could have fucking used all their weight to keep him, crush him down, and keep punching him in the face till he died or whatever the fuck. Put your hand down his fucking throat, whatever the fuck. You could do all of that and ruin him. And so they're hammering the shit out of him, and then like 3 other cops come and they all book and they run away. But the clip was fucking terrifying because because I'll tell you what, in America we've seen that clip. But there's one protester and he's got a daisy and he puts it in some cop's fucking Gatling gun, and then 40 cops beat him to fucking death. I mean, because we don't fuck around here. That's not good. It's just different.
Yes.
But then my friend Ahmad. I was talking to my friend Ahmad, and he lives in Kuwait. And Kuwait is sort of in the Middle East in that area. So I was like,
okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I know.
Because it's one of those things where you're like, because again, I thought like we could drive to Saudi Arabia from Kuwait.
Yes.
It shocked the shit out of me. I was like, can we go? And he's like, no, we can't fucking go. They don't. He goes, I could.
Can we go?
I didn't know what was going on. I thought I'd get in there and fucking talk to a couple of people, talk to some ladies, and find a bride, mail her order, or whatever, come over here. I go, look, take me to Saudi Arabia for a weekend so I can teach one woman to read. That's all I ask. That's all I want to do. I'm going to go there. I'm going to meet some poor woman in a hijab. We're going to read Hop on Pop. It's not, I'm not saying anything bad. I want them to read. So I'll show up and we'll read Hop on Pop, and then I'll be done for the day. I'll take off.
This segment is where it all went downhill.
Stop your nonsense. There are issues over there in some places where they don't want.
There are issues we have issues in our country where we can't have abortions anymore.
I talked about our country a second ago. Hey man, we got other countries that are putting monkeys on a chain gang.
I know it's awful. Humans are terrible.
Yes, it's a terrible place. You're rooting for the comet. We're all rooting for the meteor.
Longing for it.
So I asked him, I was like, all right, look, man, I go, because he's over here now. He can't, I saw him Monday. He was in town. It was great. Or Tuesday. I saw him Tuesday. And I said, hey, he's on vacation with his wife. Ahmad has become married. He's a married gentleman.
Wonderful.
Which is awesome. And he was in Seattle, then he did Portland. He's traveling all over. So I was able to see him for a day. And we were talking. I go, hey, I have a question. I go, I always ask you this, and it's ridiculous to ask you this, but I do anyway. Is what's happening in Iran going to affect you or your country? And he goes, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, nothing is happening in Iran. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, no. He goes, I said, well, look, there's these clips. People are protesting. Women are cutting their hair off because they beat to death a female student because she was wearing the hijab wrong. And it's become a growing issue on Twitter. And he just goes, man, I guarantee you, yes, you see the clips that you see on Twitter. He goes, and then the regime is going to come in and fucking crack heads and smash skulls, and then it'll be stopped. It might last a week, maybe. And I was like, oh, it's a terrible thing, but it kind of frames it in a way that you can understand when I say Twitter isn't real life, because we become filled with hope, like when they did the Persian Spring or whatever it was, like 10 years ago, and we really thought there was going to be regime change and there was going to be a thing, because also now the dude the Ayatollah Khomeini, or the supreme leader over there, is sick. He's really sick. They said he's gravely ill. So I think people are seeing their moment, you know what I mean? And then the catalyst might have been this poor woman being beaten up. And so now there's women. I've seen clips of women cutting their hair off.
Oh yeah.
Women protesting. And now they're shutting off Instagram. They're shutting off Twitter. They're doing that thing where they're making the country go dark. But that's what I mean when I say that Twitter isn't real life, because here there's a difference between supporting those people and wanting the best for them and hoping beyond hope that things turn out to where they are able to be happy and live the lives they want to live. And the other side of the coin going, oh yeah, it's happening. Iran's falling right now. Everything's changing, right? People do that thing where they convince themselves that what they're seeing is happening all over the country, where instead it's happening on one block. I said Fox News does that with Seattle. They talk about Seattle like Seattle's a war zone. You can't go downtown in Seattle.
But Fox News is propaganda.
Understood.
A lot of news is propaganda. So they're going to play up to the thing that they want to play up.
But a lot of people on Twitter are also propaganda, in that they like I said, this person with the fucking petition to try to get me to get Russia kicked out of the UN. What the fuck? What do they give a fuck what podcasting idiot thinks about fucking, who cares?
Because we make change. One person doesn't make change. They can make a difference, but they can't make change. It takes a lot of people to actually make change. And it takes all of us to get together and say, enough of this nonsense. And, the things that I see coming out of there is, you have to tell this story, because if they do crack down on us, we're dead, and they're hoping it all goes away. And you can't let these people die in vain.
I like I said, the people tweeting from there or sending the very brave clips and photos of the protesters and themselves cutting their hair off. It's
scary as hell to watch.
Yes. And so I've completely and fully support them. What I'm talking about is the people here who pretend they're doing something about it by and not only that, but also pretend that this is now the flint that started the explosion that now changes the entire world in the Middle East. And it's like, dude, maybe it's a cynical viewpoint. But it could be. We don't know that until it moves forward. And if we continue that momentum, it could be. Now, I agree that they will probably come in, crack heads. A lot of women will die and very little will change. But the next one might be stronger because people they did it before us. Gay marriage didn't happen in this country until Stonewall happened. And all of the other dominoes that led to the final. Sorry, my brain just locked. That's okay.
It happens to me sometimes. Did my microphone cut out too? My brain just locked when I said domino. I couldn't get another word out. But it led to the final nail that said, we will go ahead and say that you can have marriage in this country. And those things didn't happen overnight. Women's rights didn't happen overnight. Black women couldn't vote immediately. Black people couldn't vote immediately. All of these things are a big stone that gets pushed up the hill. Everybody's like, when is Trump going to be indicted? When is Trump going to be indicted? And other people are like, he's getting indicted tomorrow. He's getting indicted tomorrow. And I'm like, he'll be indicted when he gets indicted, because justice is a giant, heavy slog of a push to make anything happen.
Yeah, and again,
But that doesn't mean it's not real.
He's never getting indicted. First of all, he's going to trip through the field of lilies and make his dumb shit until he fucking croaks on his final fucking whopper. I mean, he will never get his comeuppance. There will never be any satisfaction for anybody unless you look at it like maybe they get a kid. One of them, you know what I mean? Like maybe one of them will be offered up on the altar as a sacrifice, but they're not, the whole family's not going to jail. They're not going to be fucking chained at the ankle, frog walked into a fucking prison. None of that's just going to happen. I think that's the issue that I have, is that these people, like there's a great tweet. The guy got banned forever, so it's hard to find the tweet, but he wrote, the tweet was 2 quotes. One was, well, I'd love to see Trump wriggle his way out of this one. And then underneath it, nevertheless. It was like, yeah, that's it. Exactly.
But here's the thing. Capone killed so many people before he finally went to jail for tax fraud, and that took him off the streets. That didn't happen overnight. It took years. It took years for that to happen, because unlike Nixon, Trump just went, we'll just keep stalling until we can't stall anymore. That is Trump's everything he does is, can I get 5 more minutes? Can I get 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
It must be horrible to be him.
Or it's awesome to be him.
Well, again,
because nothing ever happens to the fucking guy, and he's got a fucking $1 billion, and he's got a fucking army of dumb fucks who keep giving him money.
Things do happen. He just doesn't care. Because he will pretend it didn't, and he will say that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the funny thing is he's such a supreme narcissist.
Yes.
That like the hardcore shit that happens to him, he doesn't care. But if someone calls him fat, he's going to lose his mind and talk about it for 2 hours.
Well, and that's what I mean by it's got to be hard to be him. He has no joy in his life.
I will say this, and because I've said this before, every time you see him, there's only 2 things you see. You see him in his golf suit or his regular suit. And just there's a certain aspect of being in a tie all the time that becomes a prison sentence. I talked about it before. I was on the treadmill once at the gym. It was a Saturday. I went to go fucking do my cardio, and they had the TV set up, and they had like a college basketball game on and something else, some Laker thing. But then they had the 2 news channels. They had Fox and then they had CNN. And on those channels at what was noon in here, but 3:00 Eastern time, were people in neckties talking about the Mueller report or Trump. And I'm just like, that is a death sentence. Like that life right there is a death sentence, that you would even have to care about that shit. But then on a fucking Saturday, you got to put on a fucking tie and go into debate whether, first of all, one of them is debating that Trump is a genius and he shouldn't be in trouble. And then the other one is talking about all the dumb things Trump did and what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Just that push-pull, that yin fucking yang of garbage that's never going to get fucking solved. It's a seesaw. It's stupid. And again, they have to wear, like, dude, you know what? I believe that the necktie industry is behind all of this. I think just to keep people talking and wearing suits and going to court. Who came up with you got to wear a suit to court? The fucking suit guys, the necktie people. They invented that shit. There was no reason to wear a suit to court. If you're going to send my ass to fucking jail or you're going to sentence me to life in prison, I'm going to wear some fucking board shorts. Let's do it. Nobody's got to look good in a fucking courtroom. All that shit where like swear in the Bible and wear a suit. All the shit that they, and again,
it's respectability policing.
Yes, constantly. Yeah. But the funny part is like, you got to wear a suit in court. You got to do this, but then you'll literally see a guy at a fucking at a Subway waiting in line with a shirt that's like, fuck Donald Trump right in his tiny orange asshole. And you're like, there might be a child who enjoys a meatball sub who wanders in and reads your fucking shirt, dumb fuck. Nobody gives a fuck because we are a nation of the slovenly. But yet I'm arguing for board shorts in the courtroom because I'm like, I'm going to go all the way. Fuck it. Who cares? Wear a fucking suit in court. It's the thing where, again, I'm on trial here. And I'm not on trial for my fashion sense. I'm going to wear, you know what? I would wear an I'm with stupid t-shirt. It's the only time I'd ever wear it if I went to court. And so my lawyer would be like, dude, you're really, it's pointing right at me. And I'd be like, that's okay, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, man. Now, let me ask you this. Does the lawyer get inspired by your I'm with stupid shirt and go, I'm going to prove this guy. I'm going to get him off. It's going to be easy. Or is he defeated and demoralized that his client decided to wear a shirt that testified to the fact that his own legal counsel is fucking subpar?
Do you remember Larry Flint in The People versus Larry Flint?
I do.
He showed up to court in a diaper.
Yes.
Literally wanted to shit on a flag and be like, yeah, here's the respect I have for all of this nonsense.
Exactly.
Again, I'm for chaos, and the world is not made for kids. Keep your kids at home sometimes. Sorry.
Agreed. But I'm just saying, but to wear that shirt, you're just like, ugh. And look, and I'm a guy who swears all the time, and I'll catch myself when I'm out, and I'll be like, Jesus Christ, that's loud. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with swearing. Clearly, what were you gonna say?
I was at the circus on Monday night, and it was literally a memorial for 3 people I know who died in the circus industry. And I'm watching the show with the guy on the wheel walking on the outside of the wheel. And I'm like, fuck, I hate when he does this. Fuck it. And there's a little kid right in front of me. And I went, yeah, there is.
But you know what? I guarantee you that kid is thinking the same thing.
Yes. Well, the kid was horrified.
Yeah, because that
scared,
the guy
but also thoroughly enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But again, the world.
You're seconds away from watching a death at all times at the circus. If it's a good circus,
it was a good circus.
There you go.
It was a great circus. And again, I feel bad when I do that, but at the same time, I'm like, the world is not a great place sometimes. I try not to be an asshole, but if swearing in front of a child is the thing you're concerned about, but not about women dying having to give birth to one, I'm not on your side.
Yes, I agree with that. And look,
I have my line in the sand, and that is so far away from it.
I'm not policing this sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
I know. But I do. But again, I'm old, and we talked about
try to be respectful. You try to be respectful. You open the doors for women. You don't follow them onto an elevator.
No,
I've seen you be like, they can wait. I'll wait for the next one. Because you want people to feel safe around you because you're a big guy.
Well, you just try.
I know
it
what
doesn't take much of an effort to be a good and nice person and make people feel safe. That's all that matters, you know. And but at the same, like with the fuck you shirts or whatever, we talked about it with the Queen last week. Where it's like there are people making all the fucking jokes, and I'm just like, I had to admit at 55, there's an old man in me who's just like, there are some people who loved her. You know what I mean? So it's like. I mean, I had that epiphany. I've said this a million times. I used to be really fucking brutal to celebrities in my stand-up. You know what I mean? And one of the jokes I did one time was Sean Penn's house burned down in a wildfire.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how he had lost all his family mementos and his Oscars and all these things. And it was just glib. I was like, oh, fuck. Sean Penn's house burned down? Well, do me a favor. Call me when his bank burns down. Then maybe I'll be sad.
Well, again, yes.
But it's you know what? Here's the thing. It's not a controversial statement, but there's nothing funny about it. It's just being an asshole. It's reveling in someone else's pain. There's no fucking reason for that. So, like, do I give a fuck about the Queen? No. Do I give a fuck about a guy who wears a t-shirt that says fuck on it? No. Yeah. But at the same time, you just kind of go, dude.
Everything is gray. Nothing is black. Let me say, very few things are truly black or white. Most things are very gray.
I do know that all the leaves are brown.
Not doing it.
Come on. I waited. I left it open for you.
Nope.
The sky is gray. All right.
I knew you would have to finish it. I knew you had to finish it. And I was like, no, I'm making him finish.
I went to the store last night. I went to Ralph's and, all right. I'll tell you this. First of all, I have a new pen. We like pen talk on this show, and everybody knows that because they did when I talked about that I like the Pilot, and I like the G210, and people were like, because I have the I like the 10, right? The 07's thin. I like a thicker, I like a smoother, right? I don't like a fine point, but then literally it seemed like consensus was people were like, I use the 07. It's my go-to pen. They like the fine point. Yeah, I don't know. What? It's like I said, it's like writing with a needle.
I think it's a dyslexic thing for me. Thin lines I can't read well. Thicker lines I can read better.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I have it. You know what I have in my cart at Amazon right now? I have Sharpie gel pens. Literally, that left it wide open for anything you could have guessed, I suppose.
I was going to say like 5 things, just like boom, 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 boom. And I went, nah, just let him talk.
It's
his job.
Because I checked, because I'm always curious, because I love the Pilot 10, and it said the Sharpie gel pens are better. All these, and I went and looked at 5 different things that said it. So you don't think I should even get the box of Sharpies?
I bought them. I hated them.
All right. Well, I have this pen.
And what is that?
Well, here's the deal. I'm at the Ralph's, right?
Oh no! What did you do at Ralph's? What did you do?
No, what did I do? I go to the deli. I enjoy going to the deli at Ralph's.
I love a Ralph's deli. Oh my God, yes.
It's amazing. But listen to this bullshit. I should have fucking led with this, dude. I get there, and the particular Ralph's I go to is because there's a Ralph's by me that's a fucking ghetto Ralph's. You know what I mean? It just doesn't have enough fucking stuff. You know what I mean? They don't have my big chocolate bars. There's some chips that are missing, and you know what? Another thing they stopped doing, dude. They stopped selling pickles in big jars.
Yes, I know.
But only at the ghetto Ralph's, because the other Ralph's I go to has the big jar pickles, and for the same price, the $2.59 or whatever the fuck for the Kroger pickles. But the Kroger pickles by me, they have little fucking gherkins or whatever the fuck. Or
you buy Kroger pickles? What is wrong with you?
Well, all right. I also order pickles from Mouth that are fucking $11 a bottle, which I shouldn't do. You know what I mean? If you go to mouth.com, our friend Kiki, who's a listener to the show, she turned me onto it once. So all during the pandemic, I ordered, dude, you'll laugh. I ordered black garlic dill pickles. I ordered Old Bay flavored pickles. I ordered, I've get the Sucker Punch sweet pickles.
I don't even know what Sucker Punch means.
It's a label. It's a brand. Sucker Punch is the name.
Sucker
of the
Punch is the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's really funny is all those good ass pickles, they don't use because I like sweet pickles on a sandwich.
I will only eat a bread and butter. I hate every other pickle out there.
See, the Old Bays are a dill, but they had the Old Bay, the heavy flavor. The black garlic dills were really fucking good. But I like sweet pickles. But the problem is when you buy like the fancy sweet pickles, they don't use nearly enough sugar. Because when you buy the Kroger's, it's just like a fucking pickle milkshake. It's fucking awesome, man. It is because there's so much sugar in there turning those pickles sweet. It's amazing. And Kroger also has these things because this is the big deal now. Like when I was a kid, you had two pickles. You had the fucking dill hamburger chips, and then you had the bread and butters, which had the grooves in them, right? Which are that's great. As a kid, you love those. So then I found out now because now pickles are all fancy and fucking weird. There's I got bread and butter. Sweet and spicy snackers and the bread and butter chunks. So if you get them they just asymmetrically whack up a fucking pickle. So like some of them are like little tiny and some of them are big fucking like half a tree trunk, and your sandwich is lumpy as fuck, but you're all over it. It's genius. Your sandwich literally has the fucking, it's like a stucco roof. It's got so many bumps in the bread. Like I don't give a fuck. It's asymmetrical pickle time. That could be the name of the show.
It goes with the masturbation at the beginning. Stop
your nonsense. So I buy the Kroger pickles because they have those bread and butter stackers or whatever. But also I like Bubbies out of the refrigerated section, which are fucking awesome. And here's another thing. Oh, you know what I found also? You know what's in my Amazon cart right now? There's a company called Mount Olive, and they make pickled peppers, pickled olives, and they make regular pickles, all that shit. And but dude, pickled onions.
Nope.
I am a pickled onion dude from way back when I used to go for sushi, and my sushi chef Soji. When I would sit down, he would put down a bowl of cocktail onions in front of me, the crunchy ones, and I would eat the fuck out of those. God damn, I love them. So then I bought them in the store, and they're too vinegary. But then these fucking these pickled onions from Vidalia are pickled like you would pickle bread and butter pickles. So they don't taste like onion really. They have a little onion sweetness, but then it's all pickle bite. Oh, dude, are they fucking great. The only problem is they're like $7 a jar on Amazon.
I have to go eat now.
Right?
All I want to do is go eat a jar of bread and butter Vlasic pickles right now. Dude, that's literally it. I'm ready to go.
I went to the gym the other day and we were talking about barbecue and great places to eat and good hamburgers and stuff in town. And I was like, yeah, but there was this place in San Diego, this place. And then another guy's telling me a story about a place on Compton, and we're going back and forth. And these guys are like, Jesus Christ, we got to stop lifting and go to lunch. And I go, fuck it, let's do it. I go, I'm outside. And the guy goes, but I want to eat in that San Diego place. I go, I don't give a fuck. Let's get a plane. I'll make you fat in fucking 2 hours. Let's do it. Because I will, dude, I do it fucking.
You can't sit at the gym and talk about food. That is just wrong.
And the funny thing is I was done lifting. And so the new client was on the fucking leg press, and I'm showing him like fried chicken from Humblebird here on Burbank Avenue.
With you?
Oh, dude, because we were talking, because that's, Mariano's a trainer, but you like good food. You know what I mean? It's like my buddy Gil Martin. Like he went to fucking Carnitas on Momo and he sent me a text and I'm like, I've been there, dude. Have you seen the Netflix show? He's like, what? And I'm like, they're on Street Food LA. It made me cry, the fucking segment. It was fucking amazing. Well, not maybe because of the food.
I know.
The guy who ran Carnitas al Momo forever had a stroke.
Oh.
And I'm just going to tell you this story. He had a son who would help out. All of his kids were involved in the business, but his son was kind of, when he was little, he really helped out. But then he got older and he kind of got into some trouble and he was with some gangs, whatever the fuck. He lived a different life. So his dad though was, up at 3:30 in the morning, putting all the fucking stuff in the copper pot and making carnitas and going out to the truck and selling it like all the fucking time. And they word of mouth made them. Because literally they had, their advertising was, they had a fucking plywood, that old, not even like a fucking wooden sign, that plywood that when you break it, it gets the jagged edges.
Yeah.
And they spray painted the word carnitas on it with an arrow. That's how people would find them. And then people would fucking come back. And then Phil Rosenthal talked about them. He was on that Somebody Feed Phil. And I believe he had them on a segment on the show. Anyway, this new show called on Netflix, it's called Street Food USA. And there's a Los Angeles episode. And apparently at Carnitas al Momo, they interview the son who now runs the truck. And he's telling the story that his father had a stroke. And, he came back to help out a little bit to try to figure it out. They were trying to figure out what they were going to do. And I can't remember where he was either working in a factory or in a warehouse somewhere. And someone else who knew him was there, knew his family and everything. And he was sweeping the floor. And he's telling the story on camera. And he said, and he came up to me and homie looked at me and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, I got to sweep the floor. I got to take care of this before." And he goes, No. What the fuck are you doing here? And he shook his head and he walked away. And it made him realize he has a legacy. He has a full family life and business that was built by his father from the ground up. And in his brain, he was like, yeah. And now he took it over. And now they have 3 trucks and a brick and mortar. And
wow.
Because the food is I took Lenny there on the way to the airport. I've gone just myself. They're in Boyle Heights. And so that's a haul. But it's fucking good. It's so good, dude. And it's just straight carnitas. They make the whole fucking pig. And you can get shoulder, you can get skin, you can get just a pig skin. And it's not chicharron. It's not crispy. It's fucking soft, like kind of the gelatinous fat. They put it on a fucking taco. That is not for me. I have to be honest. The texture is a little off. But then you can get a mix where it's all the meat and the skin and stuff. And it's just incredible. It's so good. So Gil Martin went and he sent me a text and he's like, this is a fucking torta at and I'm like, I've been there a million times. I go, it's fucking amazing. You see the Netflix show? I cried. He's like, what? Because Paul also likes really good food. I'll talk about it forever. Dude, did I talk about the fucking Doritos on here?
Which ones?
The ones at snacks.com, the one that were limited edition?
No. The mustard and the ketchup?
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
they were absolutely fucking incredible. And I'm so mad because now the mustards are on eBay for $28. So I could only afford 3.
So I was watching a TikTok where people were scavenging after see, this is where I have cognitive problems and it drives me crazy.
What?
There are Coachella. After Coachella, they went out and one of them picked up the bag and they're like, "What the hell is mustard?" And I went, "You have gold in your hand and you don't even know it. It was an unopened bag." And she goes, "Well, I guess we'll take these for later." And then, grabbed some other unopened stuff and ramen and stuff. And they were just, look, this is a tent in perfectly good shape. And they were like taking all of these things after Coachella.
Dude.
And I literally thought of you watching this TikTok. I laughed.
Again, they're $28 on eBay now. My ex one time because we used to do all the fake Oreos when they would have the fucking weird Oreos. We would try them. That was the rule. We had to try them. Anytime we saw them, we got them. The best ones ever, for me still, the best alternative Oreo I've ever had, we saw them in Florida. And I had never seen them before. And it was a limited time, and I've never seen them since. And it was root beer flavored Oreos. And they were amazing. Because they were not the sarsaparilla-y. We've talked about root beer. Yeah. It was creamy, delicious root beer candy flavor, like those barrels. Oh, dude. So good. So those are the best Oreos I've ever had. But then the top 3 I've ever had, I had those. And this is really funny because we had in Florida, we had the root beer ones together and we loved them. Okay. And then the Fruity Pebbles Oreos came out.
Nope. I'm out.
Okay. And we bought them And there was a big story where people were like, oh my God, I can't find them anywhere. So my ex is a fucking genius. So we tried them and I was like, and they were amazing. They are absolutely top 3 fake Oreos I've ever had. And she's in Wisconsin. So I flew home here and she's like, I went and bought like 30 packages.
What? And
I was like, well, they were good. I mean, I don't know. I go, and I'm not even there. Like, what are you going to, and she's like, no. I'm going to sell them on eBay. And I was like, seriously? She goes, yeah. And I was coming out there a week later, and I got there a week later, she only had 9 packages left. And she was selling them for like $20 a crack. She's a fucking genius. She saw it. She went to the Walmart and bought them all. And she goes, when are the night? And they were coming in tonight. She bought them that night. She bought a bunch. She wound up selling, I think she sold all 30 of them on eBay for $20 a crack. It was crazy. And then the third one that I loved, the fake Oreo, was Swedish Fish flavored Oreos. And she and I were in a huge fight. I bought them here in LA and I ate them and I put them on Facebook. And it's the funniest thing ever because we used to do that together. That was the thing we did together. And it was a shitty thing for me to do. And I knew it was. But in her comment, she's like, great. I hope you really liked them. And I was like, so it was just her way of saying, fuck you, man. Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you fucking did here. We were in a fight. How do we even lead to that? I don't even know. Oh, but the eBays, the mustards, the Doritos, all that shit.
Well, what I want to know is, you went into Ralph's and now you have a pen.
Fuck. All right. Here's the thing. You've thoroughly entertained Art. We have a listener who does recaps of the show and he puts them on the Inside Strokers page. And he just kept in the recap. He kept writing, I still don't know what happened with lunch. So I go to fucking Ralph's.
That's my job, right?
This is a super Ralph's. All right. So it's got a ton of fucking great stuff. It's got all sorts of pickles. It's got all sorts of amazing things. But it doesn't have this Frontera sauce that I need. Anyway, who cares? So I go looking. But I went to the deli because I'm there to get meat. Right. So I go up and this deli is always super busy. And they'll have 2 or 3 people hustling behind the counter. What do you need? What do you want? What do you need? And for some reason, and I don't know why, it brings out just these Methuselahs who like fucking baloney. Like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. They're the oldest people on record and they somehow bust them to Ralph's. Yeah. It's like, what? I don't get it. Where do these old people come from and why do they like this meat? It's crazy. I don't know if it reminds them of an earlier, simpler time. You know what I mean? When a guy with ice and tongs would come to your house and drop it in your yard. Now you can order somebody around and go ahead and slice you some fucking gross American cheese, whatever the fuck. I don't know. It just seems just old people without a purpose. And then they're always milling about. And whenever the person comes to the counter, the person will go, hey, and can I help you, to someone? And they go, hey, yeah, jaw falls off. You know what I mean? They're just all fucking crazy old. And it's not even, because that's the thing, it's not their turn. The person will go to a young person or whoever's standing there who has a fucking number, right? Because you know what? There's a gun with the numbers. Take a fucking number. But I will say this. I don't know if it's just since the pandemic. They tarry on the numbers. They're not keeping track of them the way they used to. Like, because you'll walk up and I'll grab a little slip of paper and it'll say I'm number 61. I'm like, okay. And I look at the thing, they're on 38. I'm like, what the fuck? But it's because they're not advancing the clicker. They're not advancing because they're into the 50s, late 50s, but they haven't moved the fucking thing. But it sends you for a loop. And I wonder if it's a fucking conspiracy by the deli people to go to disappoint you.
No.
Like dishearten you when you're like, I'm 61, 38, fuck this. And you throw it away and you leave. So that could be the deal too. I don't know. I don't work in a deli. I don't know how those people think. My mom did. You think I'd have it in my genes. My mom was a deli person. Then she was a butcher person. She went from deli to butcher to death.
Is that what happened to the man she killed?
That's a great. You heard that song by the Godfathers? That song by the Godfathers? Birth, deli, butcher, death. So I would think I'd have it in my genes to know how deli people think, but I don't.
No.
So I walked up this time and there's a whole, and then there's people who don't take a number. Like I said, the old people, and then regular people who just think and then the worst is people who just like, I just need 4 chicken legs. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. There's a line. And I feel bad because I'm always getting like 6 things. So I'm going to tie up one of these people for a good 10 minutes and it changes the whole complexion of the waiting, right? But you know what? I grabbed the fucking number. I got a number. That's your fucking and I look. Sometimes the number system works your way. Sometimes it doesn't. Because there's a place called Corner Cottage here, and I've talked about it before, where they sell fucking burritos. Right, the most amazing breakfast burritos in town are at the Corner Cottage in Burbank. But there's always a ton of people and there's a fucking line out the door. And the worst fucking part of it is you can get in line and you're like, hey, this line, it's moving fast. Can't wait to get my breakfast. And then the guy in front of you goes, hey, I need 30 burritos. What the fuck? And you want to strangle him because it's like, because you want to go, can I just get my burrito? Can I just get one? Wouldn't that be cool if I could get just one? Hey, how about, can I just smell yours? Make one of his 30. Let me smell it and I'll leave. I'll flow out of here like Muttley the dog to my car and I'll drive fucking home with burrito scent in my nostrils because I can't fucking wait for a guy to get 30 burritos for a fucking construction site. But it happens all the time. The last time I went there, though, this was funny. There was a guy ahead of me and I'm sorry, I ordered my food and then I stepped away and then this guy walked up and the guy goes, hey, the usual? And I went, aw. And they both looked at me and I go, I want to have a usual. And the cashier laughed and the guy looked at me like I was insane. But I've never really had a place where you can go in and just be a norm. That'd be fucking sweet. But if you're the norm at the breakfast burrito place, you're going to be dead before you're 35. What the fuck are you doing? You got a potato for a heart and bacon for a soul. What the fuck? You're finished. God damn. Your macaron's out.
Ralph's Deli.
I'll get there. I want to have a usual. It was so great. All right.
You should go to Ralph's tomorrow and go, I'll have the usual and see what
right. And they'll know. You know what the usual is? We ignore you because we help somebody else. And I get that every time I go. All right. So I go to this fucking Ralph's and there's a ton of people milling about by the deli. And here's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get some maple honey ham. Some boar's head maple honey ham. I'm probably going to get some boar's head chicken breast. I got to decide between the teriyaki or the lemon pepper. Ooh. And then I'm going to get some Munster cheese. And then I'm probably going to get some caramelized onion Colby cheese. Sometimes I get a super sharp cheddar. Sometimes I get a mortadella. I varied it up. During the pandemic, I ate every meat in the business. Everything you got. What's that? A capicola? It's got 3 C's in it? Cut it up. Not that kind of meat. How dare you? There's a pandemic going around. I couldn't possibly.
Ooh.
I don't want to get throat monkeypox. Although I guess
not how it works.
Yes, it is.
No.
You blow a guy, you get monkeypox. The end.
Not at all.
That's what I heard.
Nope.
By the way, monkeys are getting a bad rap. What the fuck? These poor dudes.
Poor monkeys.
You know what? Maybe monkeypox is a fucking reaction to the fact that you chain these motherfuckers up and made them pick plants. The monkeys are like, you know what? There's one monkey genius, one scientist monkey genius. He's like, you know what? Fuck these guys. If they're going to make us pick coconuts, throw spores at them. And it's going to fucking turn into goddamn monkeypox. I was sad when they named it monkeypox. I was like, oh man, don't do that to the monkeys. That's not cool. Because people are like, fucking jerky monkeys. But now I'm happy it's named monkeypox because monkeys wear like a badge of honor. They're like, you know, we're going to be the ones who take these motherfuckers out with the monkeypox. They don't want, because now they're going to change it to some bullshit like AR-15, and it's like, that's a gun. Well, no, all right, we'll change it to something else. That was literally the initials my fucking brain picked out. All right. So I go there, and there's a million people waiting, and I know what I want, but I know what I want. Like I said, I'm going to get like 6 different things, but some people are just like, hey, can I just get a noodle from the macaroni salad? Just one. Because there are a lot of fucking fixed income people, too, that show up. A lot of old people bruised for no reason. You know what I'm talking about? Those people. Like they bump into something like, and their arm is black. Is that you? No, it is not.
I bruise all the time because of the meds I'm on.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But I see like there's some old dude and he's like wearing shorts and socks and in between it just looked like black licorice sticks. Like, what the fuck, dude? What happened to you? Oh man. Put some pants on.
No.
Walking around like a bruised banana. Nobody wants to fucking see that. It's horrifying. God damn, it's gross. You're gross, sir. You're old. You're 70. Wear pants. After 70, no shorts. Unless you're in court. And if you're in court after 70, what have you done? What have you done with your life? What is wrong with you, man?
You became president.
Nice.
I just tried to high five you through.
You did. Screen. You absolutely did. That was great.
Ooh, zing.
Beautiful. Look at you with zings. All the zings are coming along. So I'm at the Ralph's. There's a million people waiting, old people and young people and whatever. But there's some gadfly flitting about.
Ooh.
there's activity that there's not usually activity there. It's very monolithic. Everybody's just standing there like Stonehenge, waiting to be called upon and get their meat. You know who I hate, by the way? Because there's the deli, and then there's behind it, there's a bunch of shelves with cheese and stuff. So it's a thin walkway between the deli and the shelves of cheese. People who bring their cart in there need to be fucking murdered. Park your cart over to the side, over by the Starbucks. Fuck those people. There shouldn't be a Starbucks and a Ralph's anyway. So go park your cart over there. No one's going to steal your fucking crackers or whatever.
I know which one you're at now.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just because it's a giant store.
Yes.
But for some reason, the fucking area by the deli is just welcome mat small.
They don't plan for people to actually shop in the deli. It's annoying.
So don't bring your cart.
I'm usually rolling in it, so it's really hard for me.
That's a different story. If you got it, that's fucking roll over all the feet you got.
Everybody at the deli.
And you know what? I try to be. It's
annoying as fuck. It is annoying as fuck to be blocked in at the deli at Ralph's. I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right, hold on. I just thought of another thing I did at the deli that's not this particular deli story, but it's a second deli story, and I have to tell it.
Okay.
I went to the ghetto Ralph's. All right, I went to the ghetto Ralph's. I don't know if I told the story in here. If I did, I'm going to feel stupid because I told my trainer this story, and he just goes, "Well, what are you doing?" And I go, "I'm not wrong in this story." He goes, "No, you are." And I go, "No, I'm not." But then under further thought about and more further consideration, perhaps you be the judge. So I went to the ghetto Ralph's, and they're having trouble staffing at a lot of these places. Case in point, last night I went to Walgreens at 11:25, closed. It's open till midnight.
Yeah.
And it was closed with a sign on the door. And there was a hobo couple arguing in the parking lot. And it was a
hobo.
Well, they
unhoused.
It was actually Emmett Kelly. You're the only person in the world who laughed at that. Your mic cut out again. God damn it!
Picture of Emmett Kelly in my bathroom.
Do you? All right. Well, there you go.
I call it clowns and hobo clowns.
You're the only person in the world who laughed at that joke. So these hobos are arguing in the parking lot. And here's my all right, look. I try to be kind to the homeless. Like I've said before,
yeah.
If you can't give them money, give them eye contact because there is some currency in treating them like a person.
Yes.
But also sometimes they do stuff where you just go, "Oh, that's why you don't have a home." You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So these two fucking, these people who are probably scratching their arms a lot. Is that like, you know what I'm talking about? They're having this back and forth. And their argument is she's yelling at him because he talked to a girl, like another girl. And she's giving him the whole bit of like, if you want her, you can be with her, but you can't be with me. If you're going to be with me, you got to just be with me, but you can't be with her too. And I'm just like, this guy's got holes in both socks. Guy's not a catch. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you trying to cling to this guy so tightly? And I guess maybe on the street, what's yours is yours. Maybe that's the rules. I don't know. That's from Vice Squad in 1984 with fucking Wings Hauser. I don't know. Maybe that's the rules. But it just seems like she was. You know what? Hold on loosely. If I can quote 38 Special, ma'am, you can hold on loosely because you're going to lose this guy if you put these kind of. I'll tell you what. He's going to wind up sleeping under another viaduct, and you're going to be very disappointed. But again, that whole speech of like you and he's just like, I know, baby, and stuff, and they're just. But they're dirty. I'm like, who are you? And also I have no one. So I'm like this couple is in love and having a raging argument about whatever, and they're both like, he's trying to empathize and she's like, and also he's got another chick involved. Like there's a three-way going on. I can't even find one girl. I smile at someone and they fucking run. What the fuck is wrong with me? All I want to do is find a girl to settle down and have a glass of wine and talk about monkeys and chains. That's all I want to do. I'll get a pipe. I'll Dr. Zayas the shit out of this thing. So they're having a homeless argument. You know, the typical thing. I know, baby. I know. And they're eating like the Hostess snowballs. They're splitting a package of that. Mm-hmm. And I go, well, look, there's true love for you. If he didn't love you, he wouldn't have given you a snowball. So I go to the door. It's closed. I'm like, fuck. So I have to leave. So the ghetto, but earlier I'd been to the ghetto, whatever the fuck. All right. So last night I went to a different house, so let's get back to the ghetto story. I walk in and they're having trouble staffing. So I walked in. There's nobody at the deli, and they're open till 9, but it's like 7:45, and I'm standing there. There's nobody, and there's a woman on the phone. She's waiting too, and there's just no one in the deli, and there's no bell to ring. There's nothing like at all. And I look over because the deli is by the meat, all of the packaged meat, and I look and I see a dude who looks like he's wearing deli clothes. He's looking, unless he's, early Halloween, he's definitely in a deli costume. There's no doubt.
Deli costume.
And he is stepped out from behind the sacred counter into the real world. You can't do that, man. That's just, you can't cross the streams. What the fuck are you doing? That's crazy. Now, you know who he is? He's like the chick in The Ring who climbs out of your television set. Go where you belong. Get back in the deli, man. I can't see you out in the real world. It's like when you're a kid and you run into a teacher at a store, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here? I eat and drink milk just like you. No, you don't. Good Christ. You're made of numbers. Go live in a book.
What is wrong?
That made me laugh. Holy shit, did that make me laugh. You're made of numbers. Go live in a book. God Christ. You know what, guys? You have no idea how fucking lucky you are that I'm back. Remember when I took time off and your life was joyless? Now here I am. Look at me. I'm just throwing out verbal beads like Mardi Gras. And you guys are all showing me your tits. It's fucking amazing. All right. You see a teacher and they're like, I drink milk like you. You're made of numbers. Go live in a book. Holy shit, am I great? All right. So that's the way it was at the deli guy. He's out in the real world. I'm like, I can't talk to him now because I'm sure he's speaking a completely different language. Behind the counter, he speaks deli, but out here, I don't know what the fuck he talks. So what he's doing is he's walking down the meat aisle with a guy, and they're like looking for pork chops. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what kind of girly swat you are, what kind of promotion you're looking for. You're the fucking deli guy. You're not on pork chop detail. He needs a butcher. Trust me, my mom was both. I know you're the deli guy. There's a butcher for the pork chop detail. They don't need you on it. And I guess he was just trying to be helpful or whatever the fuck. But he's like, but there's people. Look, man, we got 2 people at the deli now. That's a line. And I'm second in that line. So fucking let's fucking chop. And not pork chop. Chop fucking pork chop. So he's looking for pork chops, whatever the fuck. Then he comes walking back over. And then as he comes into focus, I'm like, oh no. Because he walks up and boy, what would I describe? He just looks like a youth desperately searching for a skateboard. He's thin as a rail. He's got a lip piercing. And I will say he's got a crazy, I wish I had it, mop of hair like you would not. I mean, like the hat is perched upon it and it is just cascading. Like I used to have like fucking crazy pinwheel curls when I would grow my hair super long, and that's what he's got. And it's just piled on his head like Sideshow Bob, and he's got a fucking hat like literally living on top of it. It's not even squished down because you couldn't possibly. The hat would burst like John Holmes's rubber. I mean, it would like just fucking explode. It just couldn't contain all of that fucking hair. So he then comes closer, and I realize I look, whatever. I'm sure he's a lovely gentleman. He is super shiny. He's oily. His skin is super oily, and he has a ton of like zits on his chin. Okay. In addition to the lip piercing and the nose piercing and the fucking, but he looks sticky. You know what I mean? Or slick. Like you don't want to touch him ever. And now I'm like, you know what? He looks like the meat. He's the very meat he's been hired to cut and serve. You know what I mean? Just that kind of like, you know how you can look at bologna and see your future? Like it's just that kind of grainy, fucking awful, crepey. You're like, eventually my chest is going to look like that, and it's going to be fucking terrible. Well, he's got a head start. And he's just shiny and crepey and So he comes over and again, super good kid. Walks over, he's like, and again, it turns out they speak English. So he comes over and he's just like, hey, he doesn't speak deli. You know, I thought there was going to be some weird language, but he's like, no, hi, sorry. I'm really sorry about this. And he goes behind the counter and he goes, can I help you? And I go, actually, she's ahead of me. And she's still on the phone. And she turns and looks at me and she's like, oh my God, thank you. I said, of course. I go, you were here. And she's just like, you're not going to believe what just happened on the phone to the person. You're not gonna believe what just happened. And she goes, I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. And then she makes her order.
Yeah.
And I go, I'll come back. I go, but whatever. I go grab, because there's the chips and stuff are right by there. And by the way, you can tell I've not got my diet under control. Yes. Don't fucking scream at me. I'm in the gym. I'm lifting. I fucking feel amazing. But yeah, that's right. But as far as, and cardio's okay, hit or miss. But the food thing is, I really got to get under fucking control. And I wonder if the fried chicken conversation at the gym has anything to do with that. A reminder, you'll hear about this in a moment.
I don't know that we will.
I don't know. We'll get there eventually. So I'm there, and I go get some stuff, and I throw it in my little deli bag or my grocery bag, and I come back, and she's getting her order taken care of. She's finished, and then I'm standing there, and there's another guy now waiting. And when I walk up, the deli guy looks at him and just goes, "Oh, he was ahead of you, sir." And the guy's like, "That's fine." And and then the deli guy goes, "What do you need?" And I said, "Well, I actually have like 5 things to get. I apologize." And he goes, "Okay, well, actually, I'll be right back." And he leaves from behind the counter. And I'm just like, all right, it's weird. I know he's going to get help or whatever. And I turn and I look at the guy next to me, who, by the way, he's wearing like a one-piece suit, like he's a plumber, like, you know, like a onesie.
Yeah.
So he looks hangdog and beaten down, like he's had the longest fucking day. And so I feel terrible that I'm now about to get 5 things and he's got to wait even longer. So I look at him and I just go, "Hey man, I am sorry about this." And he thinks I'm sorry that the kid left, but I'm apologizing because I'm ordering 5 or 6 things. And he looks at me and he just goes, "Oh, that's okay, man. It's not your fault." And I go, "What if it was?"
You did not. You did not.
I did, because I forget. Because on this show, I can do that. All right. We can do that and fucking and go and explore that and go down a rabbit hole with it and have fun with it. I hate that your mic doesn't get you laughing. It's so cut out. There's complete silence. But just know that she is literally leaned back in her chair, fucking laughing her ass off. Just I promise you that. I don't know why you're not back, but I'm
not back.
All right, now you're back.
Okay.
Now you're back. That's the first sound we've heard.
Oh my god.
But because again, I don't, because on the show again, it's silliness and it's fun and whatever, but also it's a way. Because you could just say that's no problem, whatever. Because it's like whenever you ever go to somebody and you're like, "Hey, thanks," and they say no problem.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of you is like whatever, but then there's that 0.01 of you that's like, "Yeah, I know it's not a fucking problem. You're a cashier. You work here. You're supposed to do that." I know it's silly. It's a foolish thing, and I would never. But it does cross your mind like a shadow. So I said to him, I'm like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry," and he just goes, "Oh, it's not your fault." And what if it was? And he looks at me and I go, "What if I actually started something on the other side of the store that he had to go take care of?" And he stares at me and he just leaves. You're all muted. Nobody knows what you're saying.
Now.
He split. He left the store. He literally.
Oh my god.
Because the deli's right by the front door. He just looked at me and he kind of shook his head like, "What the?" And he goes, and just and walked out to the parking lot, left. I scared this guy off his baloney. I don't know why or how. I know he just decided like, I can't.
He gave up. He gave up.
But I didn't do anything. But literally he's just like, it's not your fault. What if it was? What if I actually created something on the other side of the store that he had to go take care of?
Oh my god.
Walks out.
You're an idiot.
And I told that to John at the gym and he just goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What? It was funny." And he goes, "That's not funny." I go, "Even if it's not funny, it's not harmful. It's not mean. And I wasn't aggressive because I said I laughed when I said it. I smiled. I was like, "What if it was?" I got like this face. What if it was? What if it was my fault? And I guess that could sound like, what are we going to do about it? I guess maybe.
Yes,
that's not what
very
I meant.
intimidating and scary.
No, he's a decently big guy, but I'm sure he didn't want to get in a fucking rowdy dow outside the goddamn deli.
He had a very long. What time was this? 7:45 at night.
Yeah, it was like almost 8 o'clock.
He wanted food and to go home, and you made his life miserable.
But he made his life miserable by extrapolating misery out of the comment that I made.
I would have left too. I would have been like, "Fuck this place. I hate this place anyway."
What if it was? And he fucking squinted. I'm like, what if I actually created something on the other side of the store he had to go take care of? Just walks out. I literally bamboozled that guy out of his hard salami.
Oh.
Took a walk. That guy wanted nothing more than potato salad and quiet. He opted for just one. Bailed. And I look, I don't think it was wrong per se. I agree that it was different.
Uh-huh.
I agree it was not your usual response you get from somebody, but that's part of being alive. We're all together in this. We're all having fun. We're talking. Everything's okay. This is you and I having a moment, sir. You and I bonding over some Black Forest ham. Let's do it. Let's fucking make this happen.
Forest ham.
But instead, he turned on a heel and he walked out of the store. I don't know. That's on him. So that happens at the Ghetto Deli.
That's not where you got your pen.
No. I'm at the other deli, at the Fancy Deli, but with no space. It's the thin Hitchcock hallway where you got to get your fucking ham. And we're all milling about. There's old people and whatever. So there's a gadfly, and she's going around, and she's doing a lot of talking to people. And I'm in my brain, because I have my earbuds in, so I don't hear what the fuck she's saying. But she's walking around, and I will say this: she's got an apron on, and she's got a newsy cap on. You know those like an extra hat?
Yeah.
You know, one of those extra, woohoo. So, and she's walking around and she's doing a lot of talking and she's also touching, doing a lot of hand on shoulder.
Fuck that.
A lot of going up, and which in these days, again, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Fucking
don't touch me.
Climb on my shoulders. I don't give a fuck. But she was okay. She was decently milfy. And look, I'm not judging anybody. I don't give a fuck. Climb on my shoulders if you're ugly too. It doesn't matter. Don't yell and don't write me. But she's touching old people and hey, you know, I can see her talking like that, like wide eyed, almost like, hey, hon, hey, sir, you know, like that.
Oh, I hate everything about that.
And she's walking around. Well, it doesn't appear to be bothering anybody, but it also doesn't appear to be winning over any hearts and minds either. It's just kind of a, you know what? It's life in the deli. So she's flitting about and I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I got my earbuds in and I have my number. Okay. And, they come to the counter and they're not moving the thing. So I have to take an earbud out to start here when they start calling numbers. Right. And they call like 44 and someone goes to step forward and this old man goes, and he's got the number and they go, and this woman goes, no, I'm 44. And and the old man's like, no, I'm next. And he has a number in his hand. Now he doesn't show the number, but he's holding it in his hand. I'm next. I've been here. I have a number. And he's old, super old. And this woman is like, I have 44. I have it right here. And he's like, no, I'm next. And I look at my hand and I'm like 48. But also, here's an important thing. I'm 48, but the piece of paper is green. And the woman has 44. Her number is green. This old man is holding an orange tag. And I think he saved it from a previous visit to the deli to try to swoop in and get ahead of everybody. Like, it wasn't even from this store. It may not have even been from this country. I don't know where it was from, but it didn't match the fucking schematic. It was completely wrong. And so the woman just goes, no, I'm next. And the counter person goes, let me see your number. And she goes, sir, that tag's not even from here. Like, it's orange. And he just goes, well, okay, I just want a half pound. He just starts ordering. He's like, he doesn't care. He's not listening. Because again, when people are close to death, it's important to them that you wait on them immediately. They think that they got to get a priority because at any moment they could take their last breath. And if that last breath has a mouthful of cheddar cheese, they're fine with it. So, but I was stunned that he was armed with a tag from a different place. And then part of me just thinks he's a fucking whistlehead, right? Like he doesn't know. But then I go the other way and I think he's the devious old man. Because she tried to take it and he wouldn't give it to her. And he's like, no. And she's like, well, I'll just take it. And he goes, no. Because the 44 just goes, just help him. That's fine. And then he started to say what he wanted, but he wouldn't give the tag back, and he kept it. So he's going to use that again. And I'll tell you what, if he does it again, I'm kneecapping that old fuck if I see it.
I love that she decided for all of you that he was going next.
She didn't care. Because again, all of us, it's that thing where everybody's cool.
Yeah.
And then one guy comes in and upsets the ecosystem, and everybody kind of makes eye contact and is just like, fuck, why are you doing this, man? And if it means, look, I told you, I don't get mad at people working in stores. I try not to get mad at people delivering food, whatever the fuck. Everybody's trying to make their way. Who gives a fuck? So I got my earbud out, and that controversy's raging, and she says that guy can go ahead. And then, hand on shoulder. Shoop. And I'm like, gadfly. And she goes, hey, hon. And I turn around. She goes, how you doing? I said, I'm good, thanks. And she goes, oh, what are you ordering? I said, well, I said a couple things. She goes, oh, are you making sure to get the boar's head? I said, listen, boar's head is my meat. That's it. And that's all. And she goes, I'm so glad to hear it. And she pulls up her apron. She got a boar's head tag on. The gadfly is part of the Boar's Head Corporation. And she goes, I'll tell you what. She goes, if you're ordering ham, we have some pre-sliced ham here that you can get. I go, no, I want them to cut it off the fucking hunk. And she's just like, well, but what are you getting? I said, I'm getting maple honey ham. She goes, we have it right here. I go, yes, but I want them to cut it for me. This could have been cut 3 weeks ago. And she's like, well, no, I assure you it was done this morning. That's why I'm here. I'm making sure that everybody doesn't have to wait in line and then I go, I understand. And that's terrific. I don't mind waiting because again, don't give me the ham everybody touched. I don't want anybody else to touch your ham. I want to point at a big ham and make you give me smaller hams. I don't need some, that's like, cause look, sometimes I want a sandwich in the middle of the night, but the deli's closed and they do this thing where they slice a bunch of meat and they put it in a cold counter. Nope. Not for me. Because it'll have a date on it. Like, that's just a suggestion. That's a fucking suggestion. That doesn't mean anything. Again, they could have cut this and put it in the freezer. I went to fucking Ralph's, like I said, when this happened. I then walked over to the bread aisle. All the rye bread was super hard. The onion dill rye. And there was like fucking 10 loaves. And I'm like, I couldn't buy it. So I couldn't have a sandwich anyway. I got fucking vagabond meat in my fridge uneaten. But so Boar's Head is like touching my shoulder. And she's like, oh, no, you should buy this. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And she's okay. Well, just make sure you get it. She goes, but let me ask you this. Do you want a pen? I said, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I have a Boar's Head pen if you want one.
Oh, my.
I said, you're damn right I want a pen. She fucking hands it to me. And I go about my shopping day. But she's like, but I can tell you could buy this meat. She goes, I was here earlier. We sliced it and we packaged it ourselves. I'm telling you it's from today. And I said, that's great. But I'm going to make them slice my meat for me. I like it. I like giving the order and having it done. I know that sounds weird. She's like, no problem. Here you go, hon. Here's a pen. And then this is a little weird. I won't lie. You see this little thing on there?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, okay, fine. Here you go. And she takes it and she sticks it and clips it.
She clips it to your pocket.
Slid it into the pocket of my shirt. There you go, hon. I'm like, now we're getting a little close to my chest. Now, I mean, the shoulder is one thing. Your hands are moving down. I don't know what's happening here. I'm getting, now we're bordering on molestation. I'm not going to lie. I've been touched in 4 different places. But I was fine with it. I didn't care. Your mic's out again. I know you're laughing.
Is my mic out again?
And no, it's back now.
Okay.
God damn it. See you. I I can't make you laugh. That's the rule.
I'm laughing for so many reasons right now.
Okay. I can't wait to hear them.
Is she the Boar's Head woman? Is that what she was? Take her home for some Boar's Head.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know. You can't get it out. Jesus Christ. Your mic's cut. What's happening? Charades. Sounds like 2 words. I'm getting nothing. It's buzzes and pops. We're literally, there we go.
It is. It is too stupid to say.
Oh, have you been paying attention?
It is Joey from Friends stupid.
Have you been paying attention?
Did you ask her for some Boar's Head?
Oh my Lord. Wow. Not hearing any of this. Your mic's out.
I hate myself for saying it.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's a chance your mic turned itself off because it knew what you were going to say. Off. Still off. Dead silence.
You can't hear me? Seriously?
Now you're back.
Okay. I'm so sorry. It hurts.
That's okay. But that's a good thing. I'm very happy. So she gave me the pen, which I've used today. To write the names of the show possibilities, the 2 names that it could be, and it's a good pen. This is a very good pen. I'm not gonna lie. This is free, but it's like black and silver. It says Boar's Head on it, and it is a blue. It's a good write. It's a good ink flow. I'm enjoying it.
Hold it back up
happy.
again.
All right, hold. Oh, you can take a picture. Hold on.
I am. Okay, I got it.
It's a lot of silence during a podcast. Yesterday it was just a fucking bad day, man. I bamboozled myself. I mean, I got my meat but no bread. But that was at night, dude. In the afternoon yesterday. Oh, dude. All right. Well, oh fuck. I got to finish this. So get this. I go to leave the Ralphs. I finish. I check out, and I go to. Oh, and also they had a special thing where they have these digital coupons. Dude, their digital coupons are fucked. Like you got to scan them, but then it pops up in Chrome. But then I have the app, so they should just be in the app. So I go searching for it, and I'm searching for the product name and all this shit. And yes, I'll say I bought Doritos, but whatever the fuck, don't yell at me. So I'm looking, and I'm like, whatever. And I couldn't find it. So then I go to the lady at the counter. I'm like, look, man, I don't know what happened, but I can't get the digital coupon. It's a big deal because Doritos now are $5.69 a bag, but they're now $2.99 with the fucking coupon. So I'm like, and I shouldn't eat them. I know, don't yell. This is the last weekend I'm eating them. That's why I went yesterday. I'm not even kidding. Yesterday was the snack fucking explosion and meat. Because I'm like, I got 4 days to just be an asshole. And then Monday, here we go, which I do every Thursday or Wednesday. You know what? We're halfway through the week. I just punt this week into the fucking river and then we start over again on Monday. So I get my stuff and I go to Split and I go down to the parking lot and I pull out and I turn out onto the old, I can't say the street because then everybody will know where I am. I turn right. And dude, there's a bench outside of the Ralphs and I look over and there's a woman and then guess who's there? The gadfly. And she's very like vocally talking to the other person at the bus stop or the bench or whatever the fuck it is. And I will say this, that's a bad look because you're an authority figure in the store. You got an apron and a newsy cap and you're walking around, you're selling meat. You're a duly deputized representative of the Boar's Head Company. And now you're at a bus stop engaging in chit chat. It looks grim. Go to a green room. Get out of here. Go to a break room. Well, it did actually because guess why?
Why?
Because guess why?
Why?
She's fucking working a heater. She's got a cigarette in her fucking hand and she's talking, she's waving around and then puts the cigarette in her mouth and does the fucking 1950s dad talking with the fucking cigarette, bobbing up and down in her mouth like a diving board. And I'm like, it's dude, because she's got it in her mouth, she lights it and she puts it in her mouth, and then she's like with the fucking cigarette hanging out, bobbing up and down, ding, 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 ding. And the only thing I could think about was the incredible bullet I dodged by not buying the meat that the fucking cigarette woman had sliced and placed in bags. If I wanted smoked ham, I would have fucking ordered it. See? You think my nonsense is nonsense, but it is true brilliance. I pick the meat and you slice it for me. The end. I don't want to get some prepackaged bullshit. Who knows what you fucking did? Who knows what she did? She might have changed the oil in her fucking car before she came in. I don't fucking know. All I know is I don't want any ham now. And now I'm worried about this pan. I got to boil it. I mean, what the fuck? Smokey Joe with your fucking apron and still wearing the apron and the newsy cap. She's going to go in and stink up the deli.
Oh, that sucks.
Right? Isn't that grim? And she's touching everybody. And I can't believe I didn't smell it on her beforehand, but maybe that was her first heater of the day. So I, again, dodged a double bullet there. Unless she had smoked early in the morning, taken a shower, and then sliced the meat. I don't fucking know. Whatever. But I dodged a bullet because you think my nonsense is nonsense, but it is brilliance. And I have some untainted ham in the fridge. Good. Exciting.
But no rye bread.
No rye bread. But that's okay because I have something else in the fridge. And I'll, dude. Are you okay?
I'm not doing well.
Can I run through one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's just
happened.
we're getting at the point where my lower back is not wanting to be vertical anymore.
Here's something I'm going to say, and everybody already knows it, so I don't even need to say it. But at the same time, I'm going to say it anyway. Yesterday was National Pepperoni Day.
What?
Clearly, I don't need to tell you folks. You all have calendars. It's circled on there every year. It's all bullshit that they invent to sell you shit all the time. It's like, because people say that about like Christmas and Easter and whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But National Pepperoni Day, come on. You know, you're pushing it at this point. You know who that's for? Mario. That's it. That's the only guy it's for.
It's Mario.
It's me, Mario. National Pepperoni Day. Drives up in his little cart, fucking knocks a turtle off the bridge, gets his pepperoni and bails. So it's National Pepperoni Day. So there's a place by me, a Chicago pizza place, and called Gino's, and they had Chicago pizza, and it was a pepperoni, a large thin cut pepperoni was $20.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe I do that. I don't know. But then I was on Facebook, and a friend of mine, she posted, hey, if you guys are in the Valley, Napoli's is giving away pepperoni pizzas from 11 to 4 for free. And I was like, what the fuck? I've never been to Napoli's. I'm like, all right. She goes, yeah, that's free from 11 to 4 to celebrate National Pepperoni Day. I go, that's amazing. And I go, I'm sure it's a zoo. I go, but I'll give it a fucking shot. Why not? That's enough to get me out of my house. So I got home from the gym, and I took a shower, and then I went to Napoli's. It's on Burbank and Kester. I pull up, and there's people milling about outside. I'm like, all right, this is going to be fucking terrible. And there's no parking. So I go around the back, and there's no parking. And then I come around the front, and somebody leaves, so I get a parking spot. So I wander in. There's about 11 people, which is not bad. I thought it was really bad because the people were milling around outside, but I guess they were working pretty quick. So I go up to the counter, and a guy goes, hey, can I help you? I said, hey, yeah, I'm here for the, I guess I understand you're giving away pepperoni pizzas. He goes, we are. He goes, fill this out. What the fuck? Give me a pizza, you hump. Fill this out. What are you, a government office now? I'm not getting a fucking driver's license renewal. I just want a pizza. You're giving them away free. That's it. That's the transaction. But the currency they want my name, my phone number, and my email address. And I understand that. All right, because there is a certain currency in that for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the clipboard. He goes, what do you want? He goes, I go, well, I want the small pepperoni pizza, right? Is that what you're giving away? He goes, yes. And I feel like I've never been to this place. And to come in and just get a free pizza seems like a shitty thing to do.
Oh, no.
Well, it just seems not nice. You know what I mean? Like, again, and also they're counting on foot traffic to come in and possibly get a garlic bread, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? And so kicking up a couple of bucks for the effort, right?
Right.
So I go, all right, I'll take the pizza. And I go, I've never been here before either. And he goes, well, fill out the fucking form. So as I'm filling it out, of course, I give a fake phone number because fuck you. You're not texting me Napoli. In the middle of the night, it's a me. Oh, what are you wearing? Oh, fuck you, Pepperoni Joe. I
don't think that's how that works.
It might be. So I gave him a fake number anyway. Well, let me know because I gave him your number. Anyway.
Good.
It's a me. So, and then I gave him an email address, which is my dump email address for all my business shit. And then, and then I go, you know what? I in my brain, I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a carbonara pasta. He goes, all right. And I go, yeah, with Italian sausage. He goes, great. He rings it up. And he goes, $27.98. And I go, what? And he tells me the price. And I'm like, what the fuck? I go, the pasta is $30? And he goes, well, there's tax. And then I take the menu and I'm opening it, but I'm already pot committed because I fucking ordered the pizza now. And I can't cancel the pasta and just get the free pizza because then I'm a fucking deadbeat. And all the people in the place are now staring at me like, what are you going to do here? What are you going to do, hot shot? Now I'm in speed. I'm on a bus that can't go under 40 miles an hour and I got to eat a pasta at the same time. Everybody's, what are you going to do, hot shot? What are you going to do? And in my brain, I literally said out loud, I just went, I'm getting a pizza anyway. Fuck it. Just do it. And he rings it up and he gives me the thing and I fill out, I tip him. After tip, my free small pizza cost me $32. Fucking idiot. Trying to be nice. All right, I gotta let you. I'm sorry. I see you're ready to die.
It's hilarious.
Sure it is. So I've got 2 pounds of carbonara pasta in my fridge as well that I can go ahead and eat, which I'll go do right now. So I'll let you go away.
Sounds
I'm so
yummy.
Sorry. Sure.
No, it sounds yummy.
Well, we'll see. But again, hey, for $32 fucking dollars, I might stick my dick in it instead of fucking eating the goddamn stuff. All right. You were very nice to be here. I appreciate it very much. I'm sorry you were sick, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm glad I'm feeling better too. The migraine is gone. So that's kind of good.
You have appearances? You have anything you want to talk about at all for you?
The only thing that I can say is today, as we were sitting here talking, the calendars showed up. They are sitting on my front porch right now. I got the little text that said they were delivered. So I'm going to go grab those, bring them in, and I'm going to start fulfilling some of the orders, and I'm very excited about that. And if you wanted a calendar and missed it, you can always email me, burlesquedeck@gmail.com. You can order them now because I have them to sell too. So they're a topless calendar.
Neoburlesquedeck@gmail?
No, you know what? Email the burlesquedeck@gmail.com. I have them both, but that's the one that gets to me best. So,
all right. So if you want a calendar, go ahead and find our friend Lily at burlesquedeck@gmail.com.
Yep.
And she can fulfill any of those orders, and you're going to go fulfill these other orders now. And,
I'm going to go look at everybody who ordered a calendar, and I'm going to contact you to get the correct mailing address, and we'll send the calendars out now. And, the decks are still a ways away because they take anywhere between 5 and 10 weeks to print, depending on their busy schedule. Okay. So that's why we guaranteed December delivery. The calendars are coming out early.
I got to tell you one more thing. I'm real sorry.
Okay.
I was leaving Ralph's, and I lived a Mitch Hedberg bit.
What?
I was leaving Ralph's, and the Ralph's a 2-floor thing. And I got on the escalator and I was heading down, and I wasn't holding on, and it stopped, and I fell down the fucking escalator. Can you see the thing on my hand? Can you see the bang in my fingers?
Yes.
I fucking fell down holding a bag of foot, and it was 3/4 of the way down, thank God, because otherwise I would have tumbled down all the fucking stairs. But and I'm big, man. So when I fall, everybody just like, what just happened? Oh my God. And they also think I just dropped dead, like I had some sort of and also I got a bag full of Hershey bars. So like, look at this fat fuck. Oh my God. How did that guy die? I guess I'll give you 3 fucking guesses. He's got ham and Hershey bars. Heart exploded right there on the escalator. So I fucking tumbled down. I hit you see my hand? I was bleeding. It was all fucked up. And it was that thing where you're like, you're shocked. And then I stood up and I was mad. And then I thought about it and I just went, an escalator cannot break. An escalator cannot be out of order. It can only become stairs. So I got to live a Mitch Hedberg bit.
That is awesome.
All right. Thank you for helping me this week. I love you.
Always. Love you too.
All right. Take care and go and feel better and go mail calendars and go pet a dog.
I'm going to thank you. Bye.
If there's anything I like more than me, it's people who like me. I love me, but if you love me, I love you. 'Cause you know why, we both love me. How great am I? Let's talk about that for a while, and by a while, I mean forever.
Hey everybody, do you have a Doug in your life, or do you wish you had a Doug in your life? Either way, you should check out Wide World of Dougs, the show where comedians Doug Benson, that's me, and Doug Mellard get together to discuss the name Doug and lots of other things, with Dougs and non-Dougs. We don't discriminate. Get it wherever you get your podcasts.